What's going on? It's your dog, Artman Boxing, and we're back with another boxing conversation. Yeah, I know y'all seen the title. We're talking about the most protected in boxing by the fans, Mr. Canelo Saul Alvarez, one of boxing's pound for pound greatest fighters today. Um, I'm pretty sure everybody that's going to comment on this video or have seen are going to watch this video have encountered these type of fans. You know, the Canelo fans that tell you things like it's Canelo's world and you're just in it. Yeah, the crazy fans, the type of fans that make you change your opinions on a particular fighter. Yeah, these fans are crazy. These fans will stalk you. These fans will pull up pictures of your childhood to try to, try to socially embarrass you or something. They'll do everything. These Canelo fans, they'll send you messages, threaten to kill you, all types of shit, call you all types of monkey, just because you say, you know what, Canelo, I don't know, man. You can't be the best in the world when you're fighting guys like Rocky Fielded and Eardrum. But don't get me wrong, I like Canelo Alvarez. I do. As you can see the artwork. I like Canelo Alvarez, but I'm not one of those boxing fans that's gonna sit here and pretend like the guy ain't strategically working his way around this sport. He's doing things that a lot of fighters or a lot of fans accuse Floyd of doing, like not fighting good champions or, you know, uh, waiting till guys get old or whatever. All the things that they're accusing Floyd of doing, Canelo's doing that times 10, like a rehydration clause. Oh my God. How do you go to another man's weight class and put him on a rehydration clause? Shit just doesn't make any sense at all. But we gonna talk about it. I ain't afraid to talk about it. We might have a special guest up in here as well. Said no Canelo bad talk or no life for you. Yeah, hell yeah. See, that's how serious they be. Them motherfuckers be fucking dead ass. They don't be playing. But we gonna talk about it. Hold on. Let me send this link out now so my brothers and sisters can know I am out live right now on the air. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm trying to get some Canelo fans in here too. Canelo man fans I met. Give me a second, y'all. But yeah, I like Canelo. But we gotta talk about it. When people try to compare his resume to Floyd Mayweather's resume, or just compare his career to Floyd Mayweather's career, it's just crazy, man. And it's it's sad that we have to bring up Floyd all the time, but it's like, damn, it's true, man. It's like the things that Floyd had to do to be considered the best, Canelo does half of that. And people are trying to say that he has a better legacy than Floyd because he became undisputed, like shit like that, man. It's like they're trying to rewrite history or something. I've never met a fighter get more credit for losing a fight than the winner of the fight winning. I just don't understand. Like they say things like the man Canelo was too young, saying he was just a baby, saying he was a kid. Meanwhile, not praising Floyd for being an older boxer fighting against a young guy perceived as a young killer. Somebody just posted today the it was just like a picture of like Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo and Matisse versus Danny Garcia because that was on the undercard of that fight. And it just brought back a memory of mine where people was like, yo, this guy's the one. He's the one that's gonna beat Floyd Mayweather. He's the one that's gonna do this. He's the one that's gonna do that. And then when he lost, now people saying things he was too young. You know, man. If I'm telling you, if y'all don't go back and do y'all Googles, you're gonna be distracted by this bullshit that old media's doing. Hold on 1 second. We got some water. Ah, man. All right, I'm back. You said both of them have their own history and their own lanes. Yeah, they definitely do. But let's be real. Come on, man. You know how these fans are, dude. These crazy ass fans, they talk about Floyd having some type of legal IV whenever we bring up Canelo's ped use. All types of shit, man. Shit just not valid. But yeah, I was just on Twitter talking about stressing over Canelo Charlo. But then I really thought about it. I was like, dude, even though that's a good fight, I prefer fucking if they would have fought at 160, man, to be honest. Because I honestly feel like that was the much better fight at 160. I don't know how Charlo's gonna look at 168. And it kind of goes into what things like Juan Marquez says about Canelo. Like Canelo, he's not giving fighters equal playing field. It's like he has to have the advantage in every fight. There's never really a fight from Canelo that was honestly a 50-50 fight after Triple G. And even then, in the second fight, they'll tell it that was a 50-50 fight, seeing that they allowed him to have fucking Clint Butero in the system. Said Canelo's overrated. Yeah, he's overrated, dude. He's overrated for sure, man. For sure. And let's be real. All these guys that are riding the Canelo hype train, these dudes are fake as fuck. Because you know why? Because these are the same people that were saying that Canelo lost to Triple G and this and that. But the only reason why they're fucking with him now is because they see that this guy's part of the winning team. The team of, oh, the media's saying he's the best. You know, they're putting him in situations to say, you know, to make it look like he's some greatness, but it's really not, dude. And these guys just forfeit their status and said, fuck it, if you can't beat him, just join him. Straight up. And that's not me. I'm not going to be on that shit, man. I'm calling how I see it, man. And I'm seeing a lot of that from the UK dudes where since Canelo whooped on their dudes, they're like, fuck it, if you can't beat them, just join them. But they was talking that drug cheating shit at first.
That's not why they do that. That's not why they do that at all. They
Why do they do it now?
they do that because it's just pure harassment. Canelo fans make the internet not fun to use. They take everything serious. They act like using the same metrics to criticize one dude is criticizing their personal fucking family. I have to keep reminding these people that he's never met you. He's probably not going to meet you, and he's never going to know you existed. Like, just chill. It's not that big of a damn deal. Every fucking day
No, I'm saying the UK fans. The UK fans, some of them, they be on the Canelo's nuts too because he beat up on their dudes, Caleb Smith and Billy Joe Saunders and
like I
Caleb
said,
Smith's brother.
that's not
It's
why
like
they do
that
it.
that mentality of, oh, I got beat, so I gotta join him. I gotta join him.
No,
And they threw all that accusations of drug cheating to the side, just like Eddie Hearn's bitch ass
but they're
talking all
like,
this good shit about Canelo. But we just played the audio of his ass talking about Canelo will always be known as a cheat.
I'm telling you that it's not has nothing to do with who he beat. It's because they don't want to have the mob turned against them because Canelo Man fans, mostly Hispanic Americans between the ages of 16 and probably like 25, they will get on their ass. They'll spam their inboxes everywhere they go. They'll look up everyone's tweets. Like I said, they make the internet difficult to navigate. They just don't want to become targets. It's like why niggas be sucking Canelo dick. They just don't want to get bullied. Like niggas be like, oh yeah, Wilder was never good that whole time. Nah, just because you don't want to get bullied. That's all. Eddie Hearn don't want to get spammed. Fucking all these British dudes, they don't want to get spammed. And not to mention, they see Canelo fans don't like black people either. So they're like, shit, I got an ally here. I got an ally. I got to make this work. So they say whatever they need to.
Exactly. And my thing is, I'm even hearing that from guys like David Benavidez switching his tone, man. I seen an interview from him today where I was just like, I don't know, dude. He was getting his hair cut, and he was basically shitting on Charlo and Plant while bigging up Canelo for beating guys like Rocky Fielding and Plant, which is
Yeah.
crazy to me.
And
And
the
I'm
funny
like,
thing, oh,
dude, you were the guy saying Canelo's scared of you. Now you saying, oh, how much you respect him and all that shit. I'm like, oh, nah. See, he folded.
and the funny thing is, people keep saying that, oh, you shouldn't just wait around for a Canelo fight. You should do something with your life. The fuck has Benavidez been doing besides missing goddamn weight consistently? He should have been had his fat ass up at 175, but what's he doing? Waiting on the Canelo check. He's been sitting there for years. Oh, but at least he had a belt. So did plenty of other people. What is Benavidez doing now? Waiting on the Canelo check, comfortably missing weight.
Said Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward will both smoke Canelo, and they know it. The fans know it
Prime,
too.
yeah.
They know it. They know it.
Prime Mayweather would have seriously harmed that version of Canelo. Like seriously, it would have been bad.
Imagine Pride, Pretty Boy Floyd at 140 against Canelo at 140 or
That that,
147.
that ass whooping wouldn't even been legal. They would have to cut the damn TV off.
Yeah, what's good, Art, man?
What's
Hey,
going on?
I just want to touch up on something really quickly, man. And this is what pisses me off about Canelo. I can't talk about it on my channel because if I do, I'm gonna get hate and shit like that. But listen, and 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 the other guy too, the other guy that's on as well. I got a question for both of y'all. Have you guys ever heard of Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. or Juan Manuel Marquez ducking any fighter ever in your life?
No.
Ever in
Nope.
his career, right? Could you
Nope.
imagine Juan Manuel Marquez duck Timothy Bradley when he had to fight him? Yo, the Mexican fans nowadays, the ones that ride for Canelo, that like Canelo, if you look at them, they're all young kids. They're all in their 20s. Like old school boxing fans that are Mexican fans, they don't fuck with Canelo, bro, because of the way he moves. He moves funny. He moves really funny, bro. He takes PEDs. He fails drug tests. He blames it on cow meat or whatever the hell it was. You know what I mean? He'll fight guys like Makabu, but then ask guys like Boo Boo Andre, oh, who have you fought before? Canelo fans are the worst fans in boxing, and Canelo is the most overrated Mexican fighter ever. Skills wise, he's probably the best, but overall body of work, worst Mexican fighter of all time. I don't care what anybody says, bro. I'll debate
Those are some
anybody
strong
that says
words.
different.
Some
Oh,
strong
bro,
words.
I will debate any Canelo fan that jumps on here trying to defend Canelo, and I will eat them alive, bro. Because
Hey,
there is
a Canelo
nothing.
fan says you sound like. He says Southpaw sounds like a girl with a G string.
He said what?
He says Southpaw sound like a girl with a G string.
Yo, Eric, come on here, bro. I'll eat you alive, bro. Fuck out of here with that shit. You see what I mean with these Canelo fans? A girl with a G
My
string, like really, bro?
my thing is like people make it seem like people make it seem like oh you don't think Canelo's good. No, my thing is number one the PEDs and the politics, but most
Yeah,
importantly the politics. If
of course.
Canelo was doing whatever he was doing without interrupting anyone else's career, I really wouldn't even talk about him. I really couldn't care less. I'd be like, okay, go ahead, do what you want. But like for example, look at I mean, aside from Sarong Bisai, look at Estrada. He got a franchise belt. He's trying to take some quality smoke. So
Yeah,
it's like there's levels. I mean, do I agree with the franchise system? No, I think Estrada should have gave Sarang Bisai his fucking trilogy like he deserved, and I talk shit about him. But there's a difference, you
mm-hmm.
know. So people make it seem like, oh, you're saying Canelo's horrible. No, I'm not saying that. I don't like the PEDs, and I don't like the fact that he's fucking up the sport from a political standpoint. A lot of fights that should have happened should have been happened, and we ain't getting them. And people are, oh well, the other people need to fight each other.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that's cool, but have that same standard for everybody at every weight class. That's
Right.
why I brought up Benavidez. And the worst part to me is that these dudes will disrespect other Mexican fighters that have legitimately been putting in work,
Exactly. And yeah,
which is
you
crazy.
know what's funny, guys? Did you guys see Makabu's last fight? By the way,
Yeah, and people saying he
he
lost
was
that shit.
horrible, dog. Art man, bro. You can beat Makabu, bro. He is dog shit, bro. He's terrible. The guys like Eric Gomez, they'll eat that shit. They'll eat. Oh, he's a dangerous fighter because he's a cruiser. Get the fuck out
Fuck
of here.
out
He's a
of
small
here.
cruiserweight to begin with. You know what I mean?
Brick Squad, what are the bigger problems? What are the bigger
He
problems?
said
List
there's
them.
so much bigger problem. It's like y'all gotta get off of that.
Yeah, what are the
Y'all
bigger
can't be like,
problems?
oh well, yeah, and that's why I named the topic "Don't Talk About God Nello," because that's it's like when we start digging deep and start asking real questions, it's oh man, you guys, bro, let's talk. You
Yeah,
guys, what the fuck you guys want to know about that for?
yeah.
Yeah,
Why are you guys talking about that? Why are you
And
talking
I
dog,
about
and
that?
call.
look,
Oh, go ahead.
Canelo. When did Canelo first test positive for nandrolone or whatever the fuck he took? The same shit that Tyson Fury
Oh,
took.
clenbuterol.
It was
Clenbuterol. Yeah,
Clenbuterol.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was after
Was
the
it the
first
same
Triple
shit
G
Fury
fight.
took? I don't know. Who gives a fuck? It was after the first Triple G fight, right?
Yep.
You wanna know why? Because he realized he wasn't good enough to beat Triple G. He got a gift decision.
Bro,
He
they
got
can't
a
even
gift.
put that. They
What?
can't even put that thought in their
Yeah,
head.
bro. 10-2. Really? Some judge really gave Canelo 10 rounds when I couldn't even give
And
him four.
think about it.
The fuck?
I honestly feel like this is just my conjecture. I feel like yes, he punched the shit out of Triple G, and he
He
seen
did.
him catch that shit
He
and just
did.
spit it out. And he thought to
Yeah.
himself, man, if I have to go back in there with him, dude, I gotta be on something.
Yeah.
That's what I think, honestly.
Exactly. That's what. But you
And
see, guys like
Eddie Hearn would
this
say it
guy
too.
Eric Gomez, bro. He just says dumb shit. I'm just gonna ignore him. Anyways, my bad for cutting you off. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, but I said even Eddie Hearn can see it. Cause I don't know if you guys heard the audio of Eddie Hearn speaking on Canelo before. Have y'all heard it?
No,
Yeah, I heard it before.
no, I haven't.
You haven't heard it?
No.
Well, look, check this out. Eddie Hearn said today, when you're around someone like Canelo Alvarez, you start to realize the importance of confidence and mindset of a fighter. He thinks he's a completely unbeatable. He probably thinks he can beat Anthony Joshua. That's his mentality, said Hearn. That's what Hearn said today. This is what Hearn said, about a year and some change ago.
Ridiculous. I don't really understand that. Um,
Shit.
I keep saying, was he cheating or did he eat some bad meat? When I say that, everyone looks at me like I'm thick. So, are you stupid? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But what I do know is if you fail a test, you have to live with the consequences. Taking away the 6-month ban, Canelo will always be labelled as a drug cheat. They stop that.
Wow. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, Eddie Hearn, like, he said it like, dude, he says what we say. You will always be labeled as a drug cheat, my guy. And it's like,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
not our fault. It's not the LDBC fault. It's not Artman's fault. It's not Salsa's fault. It's nobody but Canelo's fault.
Yep. Yep. And it, like I was saying, bro, like he took clenbuterol when he caught Triple G with that crazy shot. That Triple G's head looked like it was about to go
Repeat
to
that.
the parking way and come back. When he caught him with that shot, bro, and he realized it didn't even tickle Triple G, that's when that motherfucker realized, yo, I can't beat this guy. I
Yeah,
need a
that's
I
what I
need a
said,
bat
straight
to
up.
beat this dude. You know what I'm saying? My bad.
Even
I
his
cut off
trainer
you for
said
that
that
service, but
in the second fight. Reynoso said, "Stop trying to knock him out. It's not gonna happen." And and
exactly.
and I don't think Canelo's ever heard those words. I mean, obviously with Mayweather, he knew not to even attempt that shit because he might get stopped himself. But as far as Triple G goes, Eddie Reynoso literally said, "Look, bro, what you want, you're not gonna get it. Calm the fuck down and try to box for you get hit with some shit you're not supposed to."
Yep. Yep. And look, I'll give Canelo the second fight. I thought he won it fairly. The first fight was a complete robbery. The second fight, he fought much better. But
Yeah,
he was
second fight he
probably
beat Triple G
underaged, bro.
ass.
He was probably on PEDs, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know what I mean? Like this guy, can you name somebody that was in their any fighter in history that was in their 30s that was just moving up and down in weight and looking like they automatically belonged in that weight class? You remember when Pacquiao was doing that? How people destroyed him and said he was on PEDs, although he never failed the test. Even though I believe he was on PEDs, but Canelo does it. Nobody bats an eye. Everybody thinks he's clean. Really? You're telling me this guy can move all the way up to 190, look like he belongs in that weight class, and then comes right back down to 168 and still
Bro,
look good?
people were talking about him comfortably going to Bridgerweight and knocking out Oscar Rivas. I'm like, the fact that a man from 140 could go up to the 220-pound weight class and dust Oscar Rivas and be the heavy favorite by knockout, that doesn't say anything to y'all. He came from
Well,
140. Like, imagine Terrence Crawford right now, going up and challenging Beterbiev. That's what Canelo looks like.
pretty much.
That's
Yo,
what
that's
Canelo looks like.
literally it, right?
Yeah, he came from 140. Imagine Mikey Garcia or fucking Regis Prograis going up to 175 right now and challenging Bivol. That's effectively what's happened.
He who greets
Pretty
with
much.
fire say he think Canelo won the fight both times. Well, that's your opinion.
And
I ain't
That's
saying
that's
fine.
that.
cool.
That's fine.
I don't hate on that because the fights were close. But you know, it is what it is. I think Triple G won the first one. I think he got his ass beat the second one.
Right.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
The second one for sure, Canelo won
Yeah,
that.
he got the shit beat
I
out of
think
him. He
honestly,
whooped his
I
ass.
watched both of them again last year, and I think that after watching it, I believe that Triple G won the first fight, and the second fight was a draw.
And hey, and I can't
It
really
was
argue.
competitive.
I
It was
can't really
you won't
argue
get an
because
argument out of me.
yeah, like it is what it is. Like it looks, they both fights were close as fuck. But like I said, based on what I saw the first time, I thought Triple G edged it. The second time, I thought he got his ass whooped because I saw him in there getting beat up.
The only reason I gave it to Canelo was because he was pushing Triple G back the whole time, and he was kind of
Yeah,
he
but
was
for
fighting
like
Triple G's
6
fight.
rounds, and then after that, he got tired and was getting
Right.
punched on. And I said, man, even in that second fight, dude, I'm gonna keep it 100. I thought to myself, like, yo, if this is the very best of Canelo at this weight class, 160, Charlo is gonna knock this motherfucker out.
I don't know about that. I don't know
That's
about
what I
that.
said at
Wait,
160.
knock out
At
Triple G or
160,
Canelo?
Canelo at 160.
Nah,
Oh shit!
I
More
don't.
at 160. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't
Because I
know if
said,
he's.
man, the guy's big. If they're both coming in at 160 and whatever, they get to rehydrate to whatever, man, I think Charlo's gonna beat him.
I
He
don't
might
think he
beat him,
stopped
but I
him, but
don't
he
think he
definitely
stops him.
beat him convincingly. I think. I think that he would do. I think he would either hurt him or potentially get a knockdown enough to win the fight by decision. I don't think he would
Honestly,
stop him, but I think
honestly,
he would definitely get a decision on him.
honestly, bro, and you
Put
guys both
Canelo in there
know.
with a
And you
puncher.
look. Let me tell you this. I've said before on your platform, man. I feel like Jamal Charlo has a good chance of beating Canelo, but I picked Canelo to beat him probably by stoppage. I don't think Jamal Charlo can. It's just Yo, listen, Triple G was hitting Canelo with everything and only wobbled him, I think, one time. You know, I don't see Jamal Charlo knocking out. I don't even see him beating Canelo, honestly.
That's
He
the only
definitely
way
has
to
the
beat
style to beat him.
Canelo. That's the only way to beat Canelo. Now you have to sleep him.
Yeah.
You
The
gotta
only
sleep him.
the only guy that has the power and the skills to beat Canelo is the one that he's gonna be ducking for probably for the rest of his career, which is David Benavidez. Nobody else. Maybe what's that guy at 175? Um
Bivol,
no, not
better be
Beaver,
you.
the other guy. Beterbiev. Arthur Beterbiev is maybe he can beat him. But the only person that I think that I would bet money to beat Canelo is David Benavidez, just because he's got the speed, he's got the power, and he's got the size differential. And although Caleb Plant was
That's
a
the
lot
dude
bigger
I
than
think
Canelo,
Canelo can
he
knock
couldn't
out.
pop. You said what?
That's crazy because y'all telling me Charlo, nigga. I think David Benavidez is a nigga that's gonna get knocked out by Canelo. You know why? Because David Benavidez literally walks you down with his hands down,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be like, all right, fuck with a nigga with fast hand with powers.
Mm-hmm.
Then what? Have you really seen David Benavidez defense? He
No,
goes
he
like
has no
this,
defense.
and he waits till you finish, and then he just start ripping off his fucking punches, man. But
Right,
I'm
right,
telling you,
right. No, but I'm saying the only reason I think he can beat him is because he's got the pop. He's got the pop to do so. Triple G had the pop to
you know
beat Canelo.
why? because he's another big dude that belong at a different weight class,
Oh yeah,
squeezing
oh
into
yeah,
fucking 168.
oh yeah.
Right.
He's de- he,
Yeah.
yeah, he's definitely
But,
too big for that weight class. And
but I agree though.
Caleb Plant had the style to beat Canelo. He just didn't have the pop. He didn't have the power behind him to beat Canelo. But you
Let
saw
me
he was
ask you
tough with
this:
Canelo.
do you think Canelo's gonna defend that 168 title against his mandatories like David Morrell and David Benavidez
No,
after
no,
fighting
Hell no.
Charlo?
no,
Fuck
no.
no.
Wait, isn't he the franchise belt? Isn't he the
Yeah.
franchise belt holder?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Come on, man. You know that's the NBF, bro. That's the NBF belt. He don't have to. He doesn't have to. Well, I mean, these guys aren't black, but that he doesn't have to defend his belt against mandatories. He don't have to. So he's
Yeah.
not going to. Why would he fight
And
David Morrell Jr.?
and that's the critical difference between the WBA Super and the franchise designation. People try to say, "Oh, well, it's just like the WBA Super." It's not.
You know what I'm hearing people say?
It's really
I'm
not.
hearing saying Canelo deserves a tune-up fight. Charlo's his tune-up fight.
Okay.
I wish he'd take that tune-up fight. That'd be great.
You know,
You know
my
what?
thing is, man, it's like this with Canelo, right? Canelo's like the casino. It's kind of hard to bet against the casino, right?
Yeah.
Because you know the house wins every time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's like with Canelo, it's like, yeah, you like this fighter that's gonna fight him, but is the fighter that you know, is he gonna show up when he's fighting Canelo, or we're gonna get a new character that says you like
Right.
my skills?
Right.
Charlo black ass ain't getting no decision, bro. So
No,
if you don't,
absolutely not.
if you don't go in there with smoke him, he's done. He's finished. I'm personally, I'm picking Canelo to beat Charlo. Just keeping it real. At 168, yeah, no,
Yeah. I
that
don't.
shit
Yeah.
ain't, that
I
shit
don't
ain't
think
gonna work.
Charlo's the guy to beat him.
No, at at
I'm picking
160
Charlo.
potentially.
You
At
know why I'm picking
168,
Charlo?
nah.
You know I'm picking Charlo? Because the fucking black pride of me feel like this nigga is not gonna go in there and fold. Don't
He's
go in
not.
there and
He's
fold.
not.
If
He's
you
not.
go in there, I'm
But
telling
peep
you,
this,
man.
bro.
I just want to feel like, you know what I'm saying? I want to feel like Charlo's different from Plant, where he's not gonna be in there talking about, do you like my skills?
He better be in there bombing. I'm talking on the
Bombing.
ropes, dropping bombs.
Bombs.
Cause,
I
I'm
mean, he
talking
cause he
hits
about,
harder
not.
than
man, like your
Caden.
life depend on it, nigga.
Yeah, you better.
Literally.
You could. You know what, Art Man? You could be right because one thing, Caleb Plant, like I said, he's got pillows for fists, and even then, he was still catching Canelo, and he wasn't. You know what I mean? Like with the shots that he was catching Canelo, it was getting Canelo's attention. You know what I mean? And Charlo hits harder than Caleb. So I mean, you could be onto something.
I'm
I
not
just
betting
can't
on
see it
it. I'm
happening.
not betting on it. I'm not betting on it. But best believe I'm making some fucking good ass Canelo merch. Canelo
Mm-hmm.
versus Charlo merch.
Yeah, I'd
Mm-hmm.
love Charlo to win, but I can't pick him just based on not. And keep in mind, I'm not even going based on the Montiel fight. I'm even going based on the Deverenchenko fight. Because if you look at the Deverenchenko fight, like I said, at 160, when Canelo could knock out a cold, I'd pick Charlo all day. But now at 168, that he's fucking Juice Nello, been up there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Charlo ain't had no 168 fight. That same 1-2 that Deverenchenko was able to land, if Canelo hit him with that shit at 168, might hit the deck. I'm not saying sleep, but he
Mm-hmm.
might, that might cost him a round. And
Right.
you lose one round definitively against Canelo, you lost the whole fight. You know how that goes.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. I mean, Canelo goes into the fight already up 9-3. So now it's
Yeah.
on you to
And not
win
to
the next,
mention,
5-6 rounds.
yeah, not to
I feel like
mention
everybody
people
had
just
the
hate
same
Charlo.
reaction. I feel like we all had the same reaction watching Canelo versus Plant. We looked
I
at that
had
score. We looked at the scorecard and said, "Oh my God, what the fuck?" And then Plant gets stopped immediately
yeah.
after. We just forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plant
I had
unfortunately.
it a draw going into
Yeah.
11.
I
Because I
think I
was looking at the scorecard, I was telling my pops, I'm like, "Yeah, pops, same Plant. He look like he kind of up a round or two.
Mhm.
Let's see what the scorecard's looking like." I seen that shit. I said,
What
"Oh
were the
shit."
scorecards actually? I never even peeped.
Oh, it was like 7-3 or some crazy shit.
Oh man.
They had playing getting washed. I was like, wait,
Of,
what? Based off what?
Of course. I mean, are we shocked though? I mean, is that something that really shocks you?
and
No,
when
not
you
at all.
talk
It
to
was
the
just
fans,
so
when you talk
egregious.
to the fans, they be like, "Man, Canelo was dog walking them every round."
Yeah, like I can understand that they gave Canelo like a round up just to make it look kind of close. Nah, they weren't even bullshitting with the politics. They were like, fucking Canelo washing dude. We were all like, wait, what? How? How? Based off what?
Yeah,
Based off
I
of
don't know. I
what?
couldn't see it, bro.
They had this.
I had it very. I think I had Canelo up 1 round, or I had it a draw going into whatever round. I think it was the 10th or 11th that it happened.
They
But
had
it
this
was
nigga like
competitive. I had it.
7-3.
Yeah,
They had
I had it
Canelo like
competitive.
7-3.
You know what I mean?
Hey, see, even Eric Gomes in here talking about so Canelo was losing until he wasn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
just like Crawford. Crawford was losing to Porter until he wasn't.
Right. Right.
It is
But let's
what
tell
it
you
is.
something, bro. Let's keep it a band here. Let's keep and Art, man, I know you would agree with this. Caleb Plant's style is his reflexes, his athleticism is nowhere near a black man's, and that's just the honest truth.
And that's 100. And you know, and that's why I ain't falling to that
Exactly
bull. I didn't fall
right.
into that bullshit that some of the I ain't gonna say no names, but some black folks is out here saying, "Oh, Caleb Plant, he basically one of us." I was
No,
not, nigga.
no, he's
Hell
not.
no,
He's
never,
not.
ever, ever, ever,
He's
Yeah, I
ever.
not a
mean
yo.
he's slicker. He's slicker than Danny Jacobs at 168. I mean, his robotic ass.
I
Yeah, for
say,
sure.
look, I would say
He,
Danny Jacobs got more
That
bro.
fucking
accolades than
Jacob.
But
him.
listen, his style is yes, it's similar to like that of a Charlo's, but his reflexes, his athleticism ain't the same. Not even close. So if he
Maybe
can
Oh
he.
beat
shit,
Canelo,
that's David
I feel
Benavidez'
like Plant
barber.
was like that. I feel like Plant was more athletic when he was around the age group of like 25, 26,
mm-hmm.
20, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know. Now it's like, I don't know. He got the white man genes, man. Let's be real. Keep it 100. Let's keep it
Oh
100, man.
shit, West Coast barber, you really be cutting David Benavidez' hair? That's dope. That's dope.
Probably does. I got a homeboy
Yeah, I'm David
who talks
Benavidez'
to
barber.
Benavidez Senior
Hector
all the time.
Farmer told me, well, when he had a belt, they reached out to Canelo team. Now, okay, West Coast barber,
Oh shit.
because I was talking about Canelo on here. I was talking about David Benavidez and Canelo. I was saying, man, I'm gonna keep it 100. David Benavidez, he slowed down to talk on Canelo like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it, man. Not saying that he's scared of Canelo or anything like that,
Nah,
but
hell no, bro.
I feel like
Nah, bro.
he's
You
afraid
know
of the
why it probably
backlash from the
slowed down,
fans,
bro?
and it's showing. He's
Bro,
afraid
it's
of the
because
backlash.
Canelo wants nothing to do. Yo, Canelo literally said he's not fighting another Mexican. Out of his own mouth, he said,
And
"I'm not fighting." That's a waste of
look,
time, bro.
David Benavidez answered my question that Brian Custer asked him. He asked him. He quoted me off of Twitter. He said, "Artman says, what do you think about Canelo saying he don't want to fight any Mexicans?" And he said he started laughing, and he was just like, "Oh man, because of basically saying like, oh, I'm not 100% Mexican. You know what I'm saying? I'm this and that. I feel like it's just politics. Like, yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
keep it 100, man. Call that nigga out, man. Like, bro, it's some fucking bullshit, and he don't want to fight me, and he needs to give me my motherfucking Oscar De La Hoya, sucking Cesar Chavez movement.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
Pass the
telling
torch
you,
to me. Give me the
they
opportunity to pass the torch.
they
Mm-hmm.
got in his inbox. They started calling him all types of horrible things. They said he wasn't Mexican. Da 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 da. They challenged his ethnicity. He said, "All right, I got to cut it out." Dude, there's so many of them. There's so many of them. They're fucking relentless.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But I think Benavidez will slap the shit out of Caleb Plant while we're on the topic. I
Yeah,
think he'll
Oh yeah,
slap.
probably,
most
probably.
definitely,
Yeah, he'll slap the
most
shit
Yeah,
definitely.
he stops him.
out of Caleb Plant.
And yo, and like I said, bro, let's keep it a stack, man. Like I was saying, his
Oh
reflexes
shit.
and athleticism is nowhere near on Charlo's level. So Charlo would probably he could decision Canelo. I don't see it happening. I think he gets TKO'd, but he could fuck around and decision Canelo if the judges are fair. If the judges are fair in a perfect world.
Charlo would have to like find his original tribe from Africa and have the fight there. He ain't getting no fucking. He ain't getting no decision in America or the
Yeah,
Mexico.
you're probably right. Not against Canelo, bro. Not. I mean, like I said,
No,
yo, Floyd barely got a decision against him. That was boxing's biggest cash cow at the time. So it's hard to
exactly,
decision this motherfucker.
exactly. And what is Charlo? Charlo ain't pushing no weight. And then keep in mind, I
Yeah.
like Charlo. Does he say some dumb shit? Absolutely. But he ain't pushing no weight to be giving decisions. Like, who the fuck is you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who are you? Yeah, he ain't pushing any weight.
He said Plant versus Benavidez is a better fight. White, that not made. That would I don't know if that's a better fight. That would be a good fight though. I would love
That's
to
a
see
good
it.
fight.
I
That's
think
not
I
that's
think
not
if
a better fight though, because Benavidez a wash plant.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think if David Benavidez beats Plant, TKOs him and looks great, then now he has. I don't know. Maybe Canelo might fight him then.
You
Maybe
think Al
Canelo might fight
Heyman
him
would
then.
do that to Plant?
Mm-hmm.
We'll do what?
Oh yeah.
Sacrifice him
Oh,
to fucking
he stops
Benavidez?
Plant. Absolutely.
Man, who the fuck is playing? Why
Exactly.
shouldn't he be sacrificed?
Hey, mission. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like Al Heyman's like mission accomplished with Caleb Plant. Let's keep it 100 because look, Caleb Plant had his own European tour as well. Let's be real. After Yuskatagi, who did he fight after that?
I think
White
he fought
dude.
like
Oh, he fought
White
Caleb
dude
Truax or
after
whatever.
white dude
he
after.
fight every white dude at PBC they
And
found. They
I
found a
said,
bunch of white people.
bro, I said, I didn't even know PBC had this many white dudes. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it. I'm pretty sure y'all can find tweets of somebody who's really looking hard for it. But I said it once upon a time. I said, man, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like Caleb Plant's preserving his O for Canelo Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you don't want to fight Benavidez before Canelo. That's crazy.
No, that's too risky.
That's
Money's
crazy.
not
No,
Too risky.
he'll get beat up.
Too risky. And not even if he gets beat up, even if he won that fight, he'll probably be injured and can't fight Canelo at 100% because his hand was already fucked up.
Well, Eric Gomez, that's interesting because Al Heyman was ready to sacrifice his whole stable to Canelo at one point. It's just Canelo didn't want to take the deal because it included two people he didn't like at the time.
Hold on, I'm gonna come right back. Hold on 1 second.
What you think about that, D Hive? Because I feel like if you was a boxer like Canelo Alvarez, because I like to put myself in these boxers' shoes just to see, see their mind frame. If you were a boxer, right, and like Canelo Alvarez, and Al Heyman offered you a deal like that, well, you get to fight Caleb Plant, and then you get to fight either Jamal Charlo or Benavidez first or second. Either or, you got to fight both of them niggas. And I'm gonna give you about a guaranteed what? I don't know how much you was talking about. I'm pretty sure it was a lot. I'm just throwing some
I think
numbers.
it was $75 million. It was a $75 million package, 3-fight deal plus pay per view that probably would have ended up being over $100 million. But the difference is you got to put in some actual work.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. What would you do, D Hive?
Shit, if it was between that and the DAZN situation where I'm robbing the piggy bank smoking Yield Dirham, what you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go over there to fucking Europe and smoke those dudes for like 300, and then I'll come back and see what Heyman talking about one at a time. I'm like, all right, I need to pick these niggas carefully. All right, who we got? We got Charlo. Okay, Benavidez. Okay, y'all got that. Let me see what Top Rank talking about, and then we'll meet up afterwards. But yeah, dude, Caleb Plant was straight up sacrifice.
Somebody told me today in my inbox, one of the Canelo man fans. He said, "You're just jealous of Canelo. You want to do that." I said, "Nigga, you fucking right. I want to fucking fight a eardrum level nigga and rob the fucking bank. Duh.
Right.
Who would want to do that shit?"
And Miguel Perez. No, they're not, because the thing is with single fights back to back, there's no guarantee the fights actually get made. Like, look at Devin Haney. Devin Haney's a promotional free agent. We're not getting the fucking fights we need. Bud Crawford is a promotional free agent. We're not getting the fights we need. So when you have a deal, you have to actually fight, or else it's a breach of contract. That's how we know the fights will actually get made. For example, Canelo made a deal with DAZN, and guess what? All the fights magically got made. He's a free agent going one by one now. We don't know who the fuck he's fighting next.
Now, Extreme Willpower said, if I'm Canelo, I'll stay at PBC, getting generational wealth while also getting a shit ton of hype from the fans. The Zone don't know how to put a show on like Showtime. And that's true. That's true. And, me, myself, personally, if I honestly felt like I was the best fighter and my skills can do it, and I'm the A side in all of those fights, I'll do it. Because that's a lot of money. Win, lose, or draw, I'm still going to make a lot of money. And I'm going to have credit for at least fighting. But there's a big possibility that one of these young niggas might beat my ass mid-contract and I'm just assed out.
That's true, but the thing about it is that with the 3-fight deal, the Charlo came to catch weight, wasn't a 168. Not to mention the DAZN path was the fresh path to undisputed, and then you could risk making a bad deal with PBC on the back end because you only fighting Plant. You know the nigga can't punch. So the reason why I said it how I said it is because I'm thinking about the probability of it getting like we always talk about, a career-altering beating. Like if you catch some shit and an eye gets shut or an eye socket gets broke or a shoulder gets pulled, some shit like that, that might set you back. Whereas with the DAZN bread, that's 300 million. You know you ain't even going to take a scratch, and then you can come back to PBC and see what
But
they're
no,
talking
no,
about
no,
afterwards.
we can't even say the zone no more because the zone was saying, Canelo, we tired of this. We got to negotiate some things.
Yeah, you need to take a pay cut, like Triple G did, like Andre about
Yeah,
to.
exactly. So, and let's be real. And fans would have been, and we also got to think because we're just thinking about the money. Do you think these boxers think about the legacy part too as well? You know what I'm saying? Canelo already talking about legacy. So, would you think you would be on some like, oh man, I don't know if I want to sacrifice my legacy or and make this money, or should I take this risk and have my legacy impact?
They've been defending Canelo, saying he could do whatever he wants since he lost to Mayweather. They don't give a shit about none of that. His legacy is
Man,
already good.
these niggas know. These niggas know. At the end of the day, they know when it's all said and done. When they be looking back at the great Mexican boxers, they gonna say, "Oh yeah, Canelo, he was good, but he ain't never given those fights like Cesar Chavez Sr. and Juan Marquez and whoever the greats was." And you know what I'm saying? Let's keep
Yeah,
it funny.
it's weird. Canelo box his fights are very bipolar. Either he is dominating, whooping ass, or he's absolutely getting destroyed until he either loses the fight to where a controversial decision, or he just knocks somebody smooth out. Where it's like blap, one shot ends the fucking fight. But no, Devin has not fought on any of those platforms. Well, right, let's see, Castaño's fought on DAZN and Showtime, and also Ryan Garcia is rep by Golden Boy, yet he fights on DAZN. So none of what you're saying makes any sense. He's a promotional free agent. Just none of the other people from the other companies have been willing to fight Devin. Like Cambosis is a fucking. He's not a free agent. He signed with DeBella, but he has no problem fighting on the zone, and he fought on God knows what beforehand. So none of what you're saying even matters. But yeah, nah, man. I'm saying like Canelo is moving smart, but the thing about it is not only is it the franchise situation, the PEDs, but the fights are very predictable. Like I'm tired of going in to a fight where I know Canelo's gonna smoke somebody. It's annoying. Like all I want is a 50-50. People think like well, he started from East LA. He's from East LA. He's not like from Compton. Like, he's not from Compton, bro. And that's not why they didn't like him. They didn't like him because Oscar was, a loudmouth pretty boy. That's the shit. He was like, oh, I'm the golden boy. I'm the shit. Blah 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 blah. And they didn't like him because at the time he was shitting on other Mexican people and other Hispanic people. Like he was shitting on Mayorga, even though Mayorga was an asshole. So it's not because he's from Compton. He's from the Mexican part of Los Angeles. So let's get that out of here. But no, the Charlo fight at 50-50 at 160, absolutely. At 168, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. And I think Canelo's team knows that. That's why they didn't want to do the 160. Yeah, he's from East LA. It's not Compton. But where he's from is not. That's not why they didn't like him, bro. That's not why they didn't like him.
So is that Charlo fight a 50-50? Nah, not really. Because and y'all know it. Why are y'all so comfortable with Charlo fighting Canelo now, but y'all wasn't a couple years ago, or even last year,
Yeah.
or even 8 months ago? Shit.
Yeah. And keep in mind, I'm saying this. Oh, we can't hear you, Julius. We think you're on mute. Well, I think you're on mute.
Yo,
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Well,
shit.
yourself.
We just politicking.
Yeah, man, my phone been jacked up, so I had to come through on somebody else's. But hey, I felt you with that comment, Art Man, and I'll say this: they're comfortable because they seen Charlo look bad. Um, but the thing about looking bad is we've seen Danny Jacobs look bad, and yet he gave Canelo a real tough fight. So Charlo can rise to the occasion, man. And I like the fact that he's training and he's training hard. If he lose the fight, it's going to be something technical. It's not going to be because he pulled a Caleb Plant and wanted to survive and just get a payday. No, I think Charlo gonna try to win. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so. And I hope he don't come in there on that ass kissing nonsense. Because if he
I
do and
don't
try
think
to,
he will, man.
And he
I
better come at
believe,
Canelo with something more than a damn jab too. I noticed that whenever he gets in trouble and he doesn't know how to diversify his toolbox, he just
yeah,
jab, 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 jab. Like what the fuck is that?
right. Like you got to jab to the body. You got to mix up your jab. The only thing he got going is a hard jab. Now that's good, but you got to follow it up with a right hand uppercut. He was more diverse at 154,
I
but
know. You know, I watched that Derevchenko fight again today, and I'm not
mhm,
gonna lie, Charlo did good, but he kind of looked a little stiff to me, like
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a
yeah,
little one dimensional,
yeah.
like
Little RoboCop action.
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. He just fight in a straight line, and that's it.
You know why? Because I had said this to you before. He don't like to move his feet. You got to be flexible. You got to be able to, you got to be loose. Sometimes you ever seen like Shane Mosley in certain fights fought real stiff, like you said. It's almost like um they don't want to make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be flexible. You gotta be on your toes. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes a great fighter. If you're flat footed, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be open for counters.
A lot
My
of
thing
people
is
judge
about go ahead, go ahead.
a lot of people judge Charlo off this Montiel fight, but I'm not gonna lie, he was dropping them bombs on his ass. That shit looked like it was rocking him. That I feel like the dude just had a solid chin.
But I
Hmm.
get mad because everyone likes to talk about how Jaime Munguia, Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez, they've all made such amazing improvements. I'm like, bro, people forget. Montiel was coming off of a Kirkland W, which y'all give Canelo all this credit for. He cooked Kirkland faster than Canelo did. Why is
Yeah,
it impossible? Why is it impossible that Montiel, being wagering at 154, has made some improvements? What if Juan Montiel made some improvements? I can't wait to see
Exactly.
his. I can't wait to see his next fight because if he looks terrific against somebody like Munguia again or Dames or some damn body, a lot of mouths are gonna have to be shut because they
Right.
always say, "Oh, Kirkland was tough, bro. Kirkland was so tough." He
why
really got stopped by a
why
number.
they give Isaac Cruz love but not Montiel love?
Exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They disrespect other Mexican fighters to make
Right.
Canelo look awesome. I'm like,
Right.
They
y'all not giving
sacrifice
these
they
people any respect.
sacrifice
Mhm.
it. And I
The
said,
fit
Bill,
and
why y'all
nail.
make it seem like there's only one fighter from Mexico, bro? That's why
Right.
nobody can answer my question every time I ask them. I said, after Canelo, if he loses or retires, who is the next pound for pound fighter from Mexico? From
They don't
Mexico,
have
not
one.
not America, from Mexico, born and raised.
Yeah, and I hate how when you're winning, you are you are just a Hispanic individual. But when you lose, you have to go back to your country of origin. I can't stand that shit.
You,
And
you
and
see that picture with Virgil Ortiz and Castano?
yeah,
Sparring. Yeah.
That shit
Seen
like the
that.
West Side Connection clicking up.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Real
See,
shit.
yeah, you see, and they took Castano in as an Argentine. Remember, Robert Garcia did the same thing with Marcos Maradona.
Donna, yeah.
and you
Maradona did good. It was like Mexico did good, and he from Argentina.
and
Yeah.
you know why he's training with Virgil Ortiz Jr. I told y'all because Virgil Ortiz Jr. applies intelligent pressure. He leads with a jab. He goes to the body directly on the knee. So that's some good ass sparring. And if anything, Castano needs to be taking some notes and taking some notes and trying to fight like Virgil Ortiz Jr.
Hey, Perez says y'all think McKinnison gives problems to Virgil.
Bro, he
Nigga.
has two knockouts. The fuck is he gonna do? Well,
Nothing.
what's he gonna do? Hurt it? What's he gonna do? Hurt his feelings? He
Virgil
has
Ortiz better win that fight, boy.
he has two knockouts. Miguel
He,
Perez. What the fuck is McKinson gonna do?
he will, and my thing is this right here too, man. I think that if Charlo, which I think he will be, in shape and he fight with intelligence, Charlo's gonna beat Castano this time because Castano came in at over 200 pounds to lose 50 pounds. That's another reason why he's sparring with Virgil Ortiz. He need real live sparring to get himself back into fighting shape. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I think Charlo gonna win this one big. I would bet my money on Charlo on this time.
The only thing I'm concerned about is like y'all remember how, because people disagree with me, but I think Sean Porter literally fought. I think Sean Porter put on his best boxing display, to be honest, against Bud. And the reason why I say that is because you notice how Sean Porter wouldn't lead with his head, and he would actually stop short to try to sit down on his punches and land on Bud. If
But
Castano does
Bud
that,
took the damn fight out of Porter, and I seen that shit, man. He punched him right here in his chest, man, and that shit made Sean Porter say, and they said, "Oh, he's Sean Porter's taking a round off." No, nigga, he wasn't taking a round off because he just wanted to. That he was feeling it, man.
no, you're absolutely right. But all I'm saying is that because the thing is, Charlo's going to be used to Castano running directly at him, right? If he stops short and starts throwing, and he's out of position, and he's out of position for the next fight, I think it could cause problems because
You rewatched that, right?
no, not yet, not yet,
Not
not
yet.
yet.
Okay, so I rewatched half of it, and what I was watching, I was like, man, I feel like Charlo was afraid. Not, I wouldn't say afraid, but he was kind of hesitant to strike this guy, even though he had that high guard. And I feel like because he maybe wasn't confident in his jab or his reaction after because he was. I feel like he was afraid to get countered. What do you
Yeah,
think?
no, yeah,
Because he was fighting a high guard, and I'm like, okay, well, jab him, try to hit him with a left hook over the guard. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, and I was seeing it every time he would throw a jab, Castano would either catch it and try to come over the top with it. But I don't know.
it's because that was the first time anybody has seen Charlo like that, including Charlo. Like we got to understand that was the first time he'd been hit with some shit that actually made his feet move. Because usually that's not a situation that he finds himself in. He's usually the monster. But when he got hit with that hook that while he was throwing, and it actually made him jump, he was like, "Oh shit!"
Shit. But credit to Charlo because I was watching that shit and I was like, dude, this nigga got some good ass reflexes because he was even after he was hurt, he knew like I feel like it's in the subconscious. He knew the movements to make to not get hit with these crazy ass hooks when once Castano saw that he was hurt.
Right. And look, man, Castano is a solid fighter. I just think that sometimes, and it can happen to American fighters too, but a lot of times, because the same thing happened to Maradona. These guys get a little bit of success, and man, they go to eating, they go to partying, because you got to think he made a
Have y'all seen
million dollars.
that video? Have you seen the video of him?
Yeah,
Jump roping?
yeah, I saw it.
I disagree with that, Dripper. It's not that Castano was able to stay comfortable, but he knew that he only had his chin to protect because Castano was hurt at least 3 times in that fight. He was wobbling, he was dancing, he was doing the moonwalk, so he was in some deep shit.
I'm talking about Castano after the fight. Castano since the fight, he's comfortable. That's what I'm talking about. Since that fight, he is. I'm talking about leading up to this second fight.
Oh no,
I feel like
I was
Castano.
addressing Dripper. I was addressing Dripper in the comment section. My bad.
Oh, okay, my fault.
No, yeah, go ahead, go
Yeah, I
ahead.
didn't see. Yeah, I didn't see his comment. I see it now. He's comfortable at the fight. He's comfortable now.
Hey, you know what I didn't like? I'm rewatching this Montiel versus Charlo. What I
hmm
didn't like is how Montiel was able to fucking go to work on Charlo's body.
Right, you saw that? You saw those left hooks to the body?
I'm
Charlo had no
like,
answer
yo,
for.
Montiel was like, he's like dipping low and Charlo, and you can tell Charlo feel it, but I feel like Charlo, if he wasn't in shape, it would have been bad for him. It'd have
But
been
you
real.
Got
see,
tired too.
you saw when Montiel threw that left to the body and then followed up with an uppercut and overhand right over the top.
I didn't
Canelo
see that. That's what
Canelo and his team saw that shit and they were like, oh, they were rubbing their hands together like flies on shit. They were like,
and we
oh
ready
yeah,
to
we
put
gonna
the nigga up.
yeah. They're like, we gonna get that ass.
Yeah, go
Right.
ahead play golf. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your time. He
Right.
gonna sign the contract no matter what.
I
Shit.
don't know, cause I mean, shit. He's talking about fighting Bivol and a old ass Triple G hit fight. He's like, shit. I get to potential because Bivol's a dangerous ass fight. I feel like he might try
Bivol,
to do
I feel like
Charlo
Bivol
and
is
then Triple G.
worse than Charlo.
100%.
I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's a more dangerous fight because he's bigger than him
And
completely.
people think Bivol can't punch, which is dumb to me.
And
I'm
he
like,
can
are you
punch.
crazy?
Yeah, he can.
Bivol will beat your fucking ass, boy. Like people like, oh, Bivol ain't got no power. Okay.
It'll be very boring, but he'll beat your ass.
Exactly. Because the thing is, Bivol has no problem letting his hands go if you get too close to him. He's real quick, like and he throws a lot of straight punches. He doesn't throw looping shots.
Look,
Right.
my thing is though, Montiel took a lot of punches to give punches. You think Canelo willing to do that with Charlo?
Right.
No, not at all.
Absolutely not. But here's another thing
Oh
too.
my god.
I think Charlo can steal some rounds in this fight, man. I think Charlo can steal some rounds in this particular fight because Canelo starts slow. Other thing about is that man, he's a lazy fighter too for the first 4 or 5 rounds. He's just trying to place shots, and
And
that's the thing. You can't let him win rounds when he doing that.
Julius, tell me if I'm tripping. Tell me if I'm tripping. But the Canelo I've been seeing recently is fighting like Cesar Chavez to me. What I mean by that is not saying oh he's doing every same type of punch, but I'm saying he's walking you down, you know what I'm saying, slipping some punches and trying to rip your body and rip you with a hook.
Because
You know why he's looking like that?
he ain't worried about no
Because of his
return fire.
level of competition. Because whenever he fights someone that's dangerous or someone he respects, he don't fight that way. He
Hell
didn't
no.
fight Triple G that way. He didn't
Nope.
fight
That
even
Mexican
Danny
style
Jacobs
went
that
out the
way.
motherfucking window in that
See
first.
what
Yeah, that was the first, and that was the first time I've legitimately seen Canelo be on a legitimate bicycle, except like from rounds 9 through 12 when Mayweather was bopping his ass in the damn head. He was like, "Man, I'm tired, man. Just stop hitting me, bro."
Hey, credit to
I'm
Montiel. He's a warrior. Cause he's fighting this nigga Charlo like fuck it. I
But
really can't see Canelo fighting Charlo like this though. Because of course Canelo's gonna try to go in there and show his defense. Show his defense. Does Canelo throw a lot of punches? You think Canelo's gonna
no,
throw as many punches as Montiel?
no,
not at
no.
all. But let me
I,
say this real
But if he
quick.
sees something, I feel like if he sees something open, he'll throw it.
Well, yeah, if he sees you hurt, he'll try to finish you off to get the fight over with. But let me say this: the reason why Montiel looked the way he looked is because Montiel knew that he had a legitimate shot at winning a fucking title. He knew that if he was going to go in there, the judges probably wouldn't cheat him. If he got the knockout, he would get it. There was no politics protecting Charlo. He fought like he had something to gain. The rest of these
right.
people know they're not going to get a decision, and they have to put Canelo to sleep to be able to legitimately get a W, and they know that the chances of that happening are close to nil. So they're fighting just not to get hurt. Montiel fought like that and threw everything at Charlo because he had a legitimate chance to fucking win a belt. That's the difference. If you put Canelo in there with somebody like that who knows they won't get robbed on the scorecards, his fights will look a lot different too.
Also, too, man, another thing, Montiel turned pro at 15 years old.
He looked like
So when you turn pro at 15, you don't have an amateur career, okay? So he's gotten better as his career had came on. You get what I'm saying? So the Montiel that fought Charlo was the best Montiel has ever looked in his career. And it made sense because, like I said, he didn't have an amateur career. He turned pro at 15. He fought Charlo when he was 26. It was just a gradual, he got better. You know what I'm saying? He's a better fighter than he was when he fought Munguia.
And he wasn't weight drained. He was going up in weight to a weight class he was supposed to be in.
Right.
Yeah, 154, he was draining himself trying to be something that he wasn't. And that's why Munguia and Benavidez ass both need to move up one.
Yeah. And I
But
saw you, Art man, you was talking about the Benavidez and Boo Boo
and
Andre fight.
and people got so mad at me. They be riding my fucking
I'm gonna,
dick.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you my opinion on that fight, man. The only reason I'm gonna pick Benavidez in that fight is because not because I think he gonna walk Boo Boo down. I don't trust Boo Boo Chin. I
I
don't
don't trust
trust.
Benavidez, Chad. Where
I
y'all
don't.
faith coming from in
I
Benavidez
don't.
trip is what I want to know.
I
They coming from the Liam Williams fight and the one time that Andre got dropped, but Benavidez has been dropped too, so we can't forget that.
And that's
he
what
been
I'm saying. And I'm like, dude, y'all, you
Boo,
see them wicked ass uppercuts he was hitting. What's his name with in the
but
last
Boo
one? You
only
think
fight.
You think Benavidez got enough defense to know? Oh yeah, I'm just gonna know when to
Oh
slip
no, no,
Andre's uppercut, his
not.
wicked uppercut
But
like that. Fuck
oh
no.
no, absolutely not. But you
Especially
know,
him walking with his hands down. I'm telling you,
yeah.
it's gonna look like, oh yeah, he's putting it on him until oh shit, damn, this guy spitting out
But
his mouthpiece.
the problem, Boo, is that Boo Boo is a 5 round fighter. Look at his last 5 to 6 fights. Boo Boo come out strong. He might even score a knockdown the first or second round, and then by round 5, he coasted.
My thing is, I think it's just the height. Because let me tell you, Box Track is full of shit. Benavidez ain't no motherfucking 6'1". This nigga at least 6'4".
Yeah, he. Oh yeah, he at least 6'2.5", 6'3". Yeah,
Yeah, so I think that uppercut, that same uppercut he was landing on Liam Williams, getting to Benavidez's chin to actually do that is going to be the biggest liability.
yeah. I just don't. Boo Boo has degrade. He's went down, and I blame Eddie Hearn because and I got into it a little bit with your man today, Slim. I got in it with Slim today because
Oh, was he defending Eddie Hearn?
yeah, he don't want to acknowledge that Eddie Hearn screwed Boo Boo career because look, man, why has Boo Boo not at least fought Triple G or Munguia or Canelo? He's fought none of them. How?
And
Why?
everyone says that all those people smoke Andre. Okay, cool. Why can't we get the fights?
Why we can't get one of them? Just one of them.
Especially pussy ass Mungia. He ain't doing shit.
He been the mandatory in 2 weight classes for Boo Boo.
All right, but look, what I'm telling y'all, Benavidez, I like Benavidez, but I can see Benavidez getting put. Not saying he getting slept, but I can see him fucking dropping from an uppercut, a looping under uppercut, same shit he was hitting Buddy ass with last time. I'm
Liam
telling
Williams or Quigley.
either one, either
Either
one,
of them.
Yeah,
because he
man,
was
it's
like
just
he was throwing the same shit Javante was throwing, that dropping your fucking shoulder and picking it all the way up. I'm telling you, man, he hit Benavidez with that shit. While Benavidez, you know how he do, he walk you down like this.
right.
Even if when he's in his high guard, he does not have the best defense. Let's keep it real.
It's a dangerous fight.
It's a
It
and, then,
because
and that's what I love about this sport, boxing, because
dangerous
people
fight.
can be so sure about one thing, and then I'm telling you,
Something else happened.
people were so sure that Teofimo was gonna sleep motherfucking George Kambosos, and I was like, man, I'm telling you. But and I
It,
for sure thought Wilder was gonna sleep Fury, but that motherfucker popped up again.
Everybody thought Wilder was gonna sleep Fury. I don't care who you are. Tyson Fury
Yeah, I
fans
know.
were last minute. They were
They
like, "Oh, well,
They,
Wilder."
I could be a whole ass dude and expose these motherfuckers. They sent me they DMs or they bed slips of them betting on Wilder. Dude from the UK.
British people.
Art man, you changed my mind, Art man. I swear, man. I didn't
Yeah,
believe it.
exactly.
Dude, it's just all the stuff you said, it was true, man.
Uh
The
huh.
whole
but
arbitration thing, man. The whole drugs, dude, it's real, man.
Wilder
They'll tell
looked
you all
different.
that shit.
And it's
but
funny
look,
because the lead up to the fight, they were like, you know what? Honestly, I'm starting to think Tyson Fury did probably cheat. I'm like, oh my God, you
they know you cheated.
motherfuckers.
But
They
you know,
so fake, man. And that's why they be coming at me, because they know I stick to what I say. I ain't hiding. Yeah, I said that shit. Fuck it. Y'all be so scared to say, oh, I'm rooting for this person. I'm rooting for that person.
Yeah, y'all want to
but
talk about other shit. What happened with that one time you insulted that stranger? Oh, shut the fuck up and move on.
God damn. Who does
Fuck.
that? I don't even do all that shit, man.
I'm sorry, Julius. Go ahead. I apologize.
No, it's cool. I was just gonna say, Boo Boo turned 34 in a couple days.
Oh yeah,
So
that's true.
I mean,
That's true. You know,
the dude
I,
now
Dude,
in a big fight, man. And here's the thing. This is what I feel is gonna happen. He could get a big fight, and I think he still beats Munguia. But
oh yeah.
Benavidez is a different fight. So let's say Boo Boo wins or lose. Let's say he loses, right? Then people gonna say, "Oh, well, I told you he was never this, he was never that." So I'm just saying, man, just to be clear, I feel that these guys, Boo Boo hurt himself with that Charlo situation, but since the Charlo situation, man, Eddie Hearn has screwed him, man. He screwed that man out of his. And look, you got to give some blame to Boo Boo because he wanted those paydays, but in getting them paydays, he never got a real good fight.
Yeah, it's the same as Al Heyman kept fucking Leo Santa Cruz safe from Gary Russell. It's the same situation.
But the only difference is that Leo Santa Cruz still fought better opposition than like think about him and
That's
Abner
true.
Mares. That was a
And he
big
got a
fight.
and he got his shit rocked by Tank. We thought his ass was
And
retired.
right. But what I'm saying,
Got
those were
demolished.
big fights. Those were
Right.
big fights. And
You're
Boo
right.
Boo ain't got none.
Yeah, Triple G fighting dinner rolls and Szechuan chicken.
Right.
He over there cooking breakfast. He ain't doing nothing.
Nothing. Yep.
Oh, man.
Which
That
is
shit is
crazy.
crazy.
It's crazy. But that's exactly what happened, man. These guys, Eddie Hearn, with his racism, man, taking guys' career, you know what I'm saying, away from him.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, also people forget that Triple G also got he has a stake in the zone, so he probably got a little bit of power on the inside as well. He has he has actual equity in the company, so
True.
But that no, that's true, Drip. I agree. Benavidez. The only reason people started bringing up his resume now was because the only reason why people started bringing up his resume now is because he started talking about Canelo. That's it.
Right.
Now some people are like,
And
well,
they got a
actually,
lesson in.
actually, his fucking his resume isn't shit. Now that we're actually looking at it, it's like, well,
Right.
it's like, you know.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up, Drip. So you think Andrade is now avoiding Janabek? Come on now, because people said that he was avoiding Benavidez by staying at 160, and now by going up to 168, he's ducking Janabek. Like, what we going? Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing?
What has Janabek did though? Like being
Absolutely
for
nothing.
real.
He
Like
he has
what's
he has the same resume as Murata.
right.
Absolutely nothing. He's accomplished
Right.
nothing.
Ugly fighting style too, you know what I'm saying?
I swear, people think Southpaw equals slick. That's not what that means. Like
Right.
Marvin Hagler was a Southpaw. He wasn't slick. He was
Nope.
just a tank. He was just a tank.
Right. He had decent head movement, but that was about it. Zab Jr. wasn't slick. He was a power
Yeah.
puncher.
Casamayor wasn't slick.
No, he was a head butter.
Exactly.
I love Catamayo. I'm just messing. He did fight a little dirty, but he could box though.
People see Janabek, who's a southpaw. They're like, oh, Eastern European. He's a slick fighter. It's like, no, it's
Right.
not the same situation. And I know y'all think that dudes from that region of Eastern Europe are the black assassins. I know that's how y'all be thinking, but
They the number one. What did Paulie call them? Species.
yeah, that's right because they're quote unquote
Common
black
species.
assassins. Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
don't. We're not about to do like them fake fans and ask what has he done. What you talking about? I'm being realistic, bro. Janabek has accomplished nothing. I'm not. Look, dude. I'm not saying I don't want Andre to fight Janabek. I want Andre to fight Janabek, whoop his ass so people can be quiet and then move up. But it is what it is, bro. Janabek has accomplished nothing, and bro, let keep it 100. Zach Parker hasn't accomplished shit either. So it's not like he's going into a totally different situation. Fucking Zach Parker has accomplished nothing.
Right.
So I'm keeping equal energy. Zach Parker ain't shit.
Same level of fighter.
Yeah, Zach Parker is nothing. Zach Parker has accomplished nothing. So I'm not gonna say, oh, Zach Parker's some bigger fight. No, he's just the dude standing in the way of the WBO number one slot. That's all. That's all.
That's it. That's it. And then here's the thing. I don't even think we should be talking about Benavidez and Boo Boo because that fight ain't gonna happen. That's Eddie Hearn talking something to keep dangling, you know what I'm saying? Dangling that fruit near Boo Boo. That fight ain't gonna happen.
Not
Why
at all.
would why would Benavidez fight David Lemieux, win the interim title, then go and fight another interim fighter to be the number one when he already number one and Canelo fighting on PBC right now? Come on
Yeah,
now. Doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
exactly. To answer your question, going up in weight, he gets the number one slot for the WBO, whereas fighting Janabek is just a title defense. That's the
Right.
situation. But like I said, Zach Parker isn't nobody his damn self. So I don't know. I'm not fucking Eddie Hearn. Like I said, I prefer Andre fight Janabek to shut everybody up, whoop his ass real quick, especially because the purse bid was already scheduled, and then you can fight Zach Parker at any point. It's not like Zach Parker will be fighting Canelo. So Zach Parker ain't gonna do shit between you whooping Janabek ass and the end of the year. So I mean,
Right.
shit, you won't catch me giving a shit. But I don't care. But yeah, Zach Parker's nobody. He's accomplished nothing.
Right.
But
And
he let his
then,
boss get in his ear, Eddie
yeah,
Hearn. Eddie Hearn started talking to him. Hey, Andre, I think you should. We got a plan for you, man. We know.
right,
You ever thought about fighting David Benavidez? He's coming up the ranks.
And
right.
that's what I
Forget
mean.
about Canelo
And it's
Alvarez.
never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen, man.
All you need to do is
I'm
just
gonna repeat it.
take a pay cut.
Yep, that's all. Hey, look, I'm gonna say this again. I've said this before, and I'm gonna stick to this. The next time that Eddie Hearn deliver a big fight for a Black American will be the first time. Okay, so Devin Haney will not get the Cambosis fight. He got the wrong guy leading him. Cambosis don't want it, number one, and Eddie Hearn can't deliver it. And Boo Boo Andre will not fight David Benavidez. Now, if those two guys do their own independent thing, I actually think they're gonna do better. But I can't, them guys can do their business the way they want to. I'm just, stating an opinion. And I just don't think Eddie Hearn is that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. Well, Drip. If that's the case, then Virgil Ortiz Jr. dug David Avanesian, and he's still in the same division as him. So it is what it is.
They don't want to hear that though.
It is what it is.
It's the truth, though.
I don't know, Mini Mill. I don't. I mean, we got to see. Canelo got to pick what he want to do.
Seem like he golfing right now.
Yeah. He want to be a white man so bad. Oh, I
Oh
forgot.
man. Oh man. We had that conversation today. People was like,
That's why I said
they was trying to
it.
kick us out the rabbit hole.
I was just asking a question. Like I don't understand why they get so offended. I understand that they don't want to live in a world where Canelo Alvarez might have legitimate mixed ancestry. But I told them already, I'm like, bro, Spanish is a European language. We all have mixed ancestry. And then I had to point out that I'm pretty sure that for the first like 15 years of your lives, you really thought that Jose Suleiman and Carlos Slim were ethnically Mexican. They're not. And when that guy put up Lupita as a good example, I was like, this example is perfect. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Lupita Nyong'o is a Mexican citizen. So is Canelo Alvarez, I believe, but they don't look like the majority of the population who claim ethnically Mexican, and that's because Lupita is ethnically Kenyan. So my point is that you can be a Mexican by nationality, but not be Mexican at all ethnically. That's exactly my point. And that guy put up that picture of Lupita trying to find a black person, and he ended up fucking you guys' whole argument up because that's exactly what I was talking about. It's a perfect example.
Or Jose Suleiman.
Yeah, exactly. They're both Middle Eastern Lebanese, but they're both Middle Eastern and Syrian, but they pull off the Mexican, look well because it's an easy sell. and Canelo does not fight black. With all due respect, first of all, there's no such thing as fighting black. There's the American school of boxing that a lot of African Americans use, but a lot of African Americans have different fighting styles. Like, look at Jacobs. Jacobs don't fight no slick black fighter style. Kirkland never
Nope.
fought in no slick black fighter style. So it's like
Nope.
you guys say he fights black. It's like, no, that's not what that means. Oh shit, he said Canelo is a white dude. What the fuck? That's fucked up.
The Canelo Irish. Because people were talking about, oh yeah, well, Mexican produce Mexicans with red hair, but I was like, what about freckles though? Where did that come from?
Yeah, that and I told you they were all of a sudden going to get PhDs from Google University when it comes to epigenetics, and all he did was copy and paste the chart talking about some magic school bullshit. I'm like, bro, you had Haney and Diaz a draw. Please shut the fuck up and don't talk to me about anything else. Like, bro.
Yeah,
That's his
he
that's his
had,
opinion. That's his opinion if he feel that way. But I'm still like, man, that's crazy to
but
me.
no, he had Haney and Diaz a draw. Oh, okay, interesting.
Exactly. And so I'm like, please forgive me when it comes to dominant and recessive epigenetics. Please forgive me if I don't take your point seriously. And then it was funny as hell because when Artman posted that photo of him and like his 7 siblings and Canelo was the only one that looked fucking different. It's like, yeah, this photo's kind of hard to explain. I'm like, we need to go on Maury and see what's going on here.
Hmm,
Exactly.
I agree.
And people are like, oh nah, you guys are tripping, man.
I don't
You're
know why they got
tripping.
offended. I don't know why they got offended though. What's wrong with him being half white if he is like just like Benavidez is not completely Mexican. He's half Venezuelan or some shit.
Honduran, I thought.
Honduran, yeah, whatever. Like, so
Yeah.
what? Like, it's not a big deal. Like, I don't understand why y'all got so mad about like, oh, you're asking who his father is. Why do you give a shit? I'm like, you guys cry about Tank's legal issues and Mayweather's legal issues and Charlo's legal issues all goddamn day. We're entitled to ask about Canelo's dad. I didn't mention any issues with Canelo. I just said, oh, is that really his dad? You know, whatever. You know.
Well, what were they saying when those bogus charges got dismissed on Charlo?
Woo, they was
The
quiet. They ain't say nothing.
Yeah, but when the charges were first filed, they were like, "Look at him, he's trash. He's a fucking
He's that's
criminal."
why he was. That's why he's look. That's why he's begging for a Canelo payday because he's broke.
Precisely.
Yeah,
And
now they
Drip,
say,
I
oh
love
yeah,
to see that too. I love to see that shit too, Drip. If he can't get Cambosis, he needs to move his punk ass up. But Drip, you're wrong. I don't think that it's Haney and Cambosis are waiting on Australia. Cambosis is buying time, bro. That 100% bullshit. He's buying time, bro. They're gonna mandate Lomachenko on his ass, and he's gonna have to fight in the states again, talking about a mandatory, and he's gonna fucking lose. So he's buying time.
He's milking it to get the best deal, and what he doing is, in my opinion, he's just using Devin Haney as leverage. You know what I'm saying, to get the type of payday he want to fight Lomachenko. Because
Yeah.
let's be honest, Lomachenko is a more winnable fight for Cambosis,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll get a lot of love if he beat those guys back to back, Lopez and and White Jesus Lomachenko. You know,
He'll be the new white Jesus. If he beat the guy who beat Lomachenko and beat Lomachenko himself back to back, he will be the greatest
What
lightweight
as
ever.
David Haney did, this Lomachenko became unified 2 times. All that bullshit.
And
Ain't
if
trying to hear it.
Cambosis beat Lomachenko, it'll be the same thing. Devin Haney's the only one not fighting these guys. He's accomplished nothing. He doesn't even deserve to breathe the same air as Cambosis. He needs to fight everyone at 140, leave Cambosis alone, come back and accept the fight for 15.75 and some chips.
hey, Don Dripper, I agree with you, but I don't see that happening next. I see that happening later down the road where we see Haney against Gary A. Russell. And I would love to see it, man. But I just, you know, I think that Devin's father, Bill, is a businessman. You know what I'm saying? And he look at it from a business standpoint because how I know that to be true is because how Devin continues to deal with Eddie Hearn getting, paydays to fight a certain level. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't see that happening, just to answer. I just don't see him and Gary Russell fighting, anytime soon, to be honest with
Well,
you. Anytime soon.
so he thinks Haney will lose by KO. Okay, for sure. I hope to God y'all all keep the same energy when Haney starts going up against people you like. I don't want to hear shit about money. I don't want to hear shit about promotional companies. I don't want to hear
Right.
shit about why. Yeah, no, I can't stand that. I can't stand that because as soon as okay, well, Devin Haney and Tank. Oh, well, obviously, Devin Haney's numbers aren't even where they're supposed to be. I'm like, nah, I don't want to hear none of that. You should just be waiting for a date. So everybody on the planet thinks Gary Antoine Russell beats Haney by KO. Okay, cool, good. So when the fight happened, I don't want to hear nothing about resumes or money or promotional companies. I just want people concerned about the fight. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Because as soon as Haiti get close to somebody, like as soon as he get close to Tank, as soon as he get close to Ryan Garcia, as soon as he get close to Lomachenko, all of a sudden, like they keep saying that Haney loses to all these people. All of a sudden, the money not right. Oh,
But
well, what about the money?
but but you know what though? I'm gonna tell you this. I really don't think that people are going to look at it in that sense when it comes to Gary A. Russell because I heard his brother get up, the youngest one, Antonio, talk, and he was real honest about him and his brothers not really having a fan base, and that they want the black community to rally around them and support them. And
I gotta get him on the
and I
show
don't,
then.
huh?
I gotta get him on the show then.
Get him on the show.
Look,
Antonio, all them, man. I believe Antoine would definitely come on the show after the fight. You know what I'm
they
saying?
do. They do have the black community though. Devin Haney's the one that don't have the black community.
Yeah.
what
I
the what
mean,
the, what the fuck are they talking about?
no,
Cause he ain't from
you
the
no,
streets,
no.
nigga.
What he's saying, I think what Antonio was saying, because look, his brother's got the black community. He don't have it. You know what I'm saying? And it probably got something to do with him fighting at 118. But you know what I'm saying?
I mean, come on, man. Like, yeah, you gotta come on, bro. Like, he ain't put in
Julius, you
enough
gonna sound
work.
like you part of the art man cult if you talking like that.
What's that?
Saying he fighting at 180. You don't like the fact that he fighting at 118 or some shit.
No, I not that. I'm saying you got to think. Guys don't like black fighters as it is. So they ain't supporting. Look, they don't even like Cool Boy Steph. Let's be honest. We the fan base for Cool Boy Steph. We're the fan base. They would rather talk about Inoue fighting a scrub on a Tuesday morning at 3 o'clock a.m. You know what I'm saying? So I feel him because even when I was talking about him, I'm not gonna lie. I forgot his name. I knew it was Gary Russell, but I didn't remember Antonio. It took me a while to even remember it. So,
Oh
shit.
damn.
And I forgot his name, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him on. I'm gonna get him on the show. We gonna
That's
know his name.
that's
Get him
Everybody.
fucked
on the
up.
show, man. We could chop it up with him, but I
And
mean,
people
I
people
ain't
were
gonna lie.
clowning
I
him.
forgot his name, bro.
People were
Hmm?
clowning him because of his last fight, and I'm like, bro, he fought with a leg injury. What are y'all talking about? They were like, oh, he looked like shit his last fight. I'm like, dude, he had a fucking knee brace on. What is he supposed to do? He
Right.
still got out there and fought.
And won.
Exactly. People are like, oh, he might have lost that. No, he won. He won that fight.
He won. Like with the black fighters, man, they look for a reason to down them. Like even when we was talking about Rashi Warren, like let's be honest, a majority of these guys, they don't even know who Rashi Warren is. And he won a world title at 118. I mean, but I'm just saying, man, if you American and you black and you fight below 122, ain't nobody thinking about you unless you
Yeah.
about to anyway. That's the way these guys are, man.
Or Donaire.
Or Donaire, exactly.
Right. Well,
They care nothing about you.
Man,
It's
I was talking
weird,
to Al
man.
Bernstein about that shit, man. And Al Bernstein was like, it was just crazy, dude. People was just dick riding and shit. But I was trying to explain to the man that, Americans who support the sport, we're not spending money in weight class. We're really not. Can you name me one pay-per-view from that weight class?
Hmm.
Just one. Just one.
I'm gonna tell you something,
Donaire
Art man.
recently Donaire recently had his last two fights on BBC pay per view in his title defense. I mean, I watched it; it was good. He stopped dude with a body shot, but I mean, that's just me. Most of these dudes don't watch these people's live fights. Like they don't watch Inoue's live fights. They don't watch most of Valentina's live fights. They watch some DAZN fucking highlights. They'll watch a few fights either on stream or look them up back on YouTube and go, oh well, all the other people that I don't think are casual are saying he's good, so I'm gonna just say he's good. It's like, oh man, you don't watch him.
I'm gonna tell you this, Art man, and I'm gonna answer your question. There has never been a a pay per view main event with 118-pound fighters, but there has
As the
been
headliner.
with 108-pound fighters have actually had a main pay per view. So no, I've never seen a bantamweight. But now listen, we've had some great black
I'm about to kill
bantamweights,
the
huh? Timmy Austin. I wish that Tim Austin
I
fought
should
now,
just make a calendar. I
huh?
should I said I'm gonna just make a I should make a calendar like a daily events. On Monday, I would piss the Canelo fans off. On Tuesday, I'm gonna piss the Inoue fans off. On Wednesday, I'm gonna just talk some shit. It's like there's so many facts you can drop about their favorite fighters that'll really hurt these dudes. And they be coming at black fighters like we have to be, they hold us to a certain standard than the rest. While praising
Superman
their fight.
standards.
While
And I
praising their
just don't
fight.
understand why black fighters have to like and enjoy and love all of we don't have to enjoy all of fucking boxing. We don't have to watch all of fucking boxing. Number one, some of us have fucking lives and shit to do, so we can't just be watching boxing 24 fucking 7. Like some of us have graduated high school and we can't watch everyone's goddamn fights on YouTube. Like Jesus Christ. Some of us are trying to make actual moves. Second off, they're all not that fun to watch all the damn time. And like I
Right.
said, it has nothing to do with nationality. It has nothing to do with representation. The fact of the matter is that once you get below 118, a lot of the fighters physically are built the same. So it's very hard to differentiate between styles, and it makes it look like the same guy is fighting.
Bro,
Everyone talks.
man, they talk about Chocolito and all them guys, but I'm gonna tell you this, man. When you right, Dihad, you see a lot of them fights, and people want you to watch. Oh man, watch one Estrada and all these guys. Man, all them guys do is throw 1,700 punches in a fight, and nobody gets staggered.
I
Have you
swear, man.
seen that?
Like y'all ever mess with a chick that had cats and then she got two cats and then you see them cats like slapping each other real fast? Like that's what the shit looked like to me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Was 3,000 punches thrown in a fight, and nobody hit the floor. Nobody was staggered.
Unless Sarung Bisai is fighting because he be knocking niggas out. I remember when he slapped Chocolatito, I was like, whoa shit.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
he
that's what
won't. And let me tell you this. And Chocolito was not throwing 100 punches around. Like sometimes people get that mixed up, throwing a lot of punches with. It was a great fight. Like man, all they doing is just going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these guys done threw 3,000 punches, and both of them, and neither one of them eyes shut. Like
right.
if you get hit 800 times in a fight, your eyes supposed to be closed. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You really should be close to death. But these guys come after 12 rounds of throwing 1,500 punches apiece. They go up and they do interviews and they say, "Hi, my name is Raman." You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing. It's crazy to me, man. That's
And I
crazy
can't
to me.
and I can't stand how when you just don't enjoy it, people assume you don't watch. And it's like, no, 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 no. I've watched these fights. That's how I know I don't enjoy them. I look at them because I like to watch boxing and I like to see if something happens. But the thing is, I don't have to fucking enjoy it. Like a lot of people say they didn't enjoy Wilder's fights, even though he had a fucking 40 knockout streak, which is no one is doing. A lot of people say that a lot of people say Devin Haney is boring. A lot of people say Andrade is boring. I like those fighters. You don't see me going around saying, "Oh, if you don't like them, you don't know boxing." No, I just
Right.
say it's an acquired taste. I like Chocolatito flapping around like a fucking bird is not always entertaining to me. Sorry, shit.
It's not. And like I said, they be getting excited about fighters that land 1,000 punches in a fight, 700 punches, you know what I'm saying, or throw 1,000 and no one gets knocked out. Nobody teeth is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right?
it's not, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
what kind of fighting did you just do, bro? Think
Yeah.
about that, D-Time. Y'all landed and threw over 2,000 punches together, and nobody teeth got knocked out. Nobody got stumbled. Nobody got knocked down. Nobody had to be rushed to the emergency room after the fight. No one had brain surgery. Like, come on, man. What did we just see?
Yeah, man, it's like and one of the worst examples of that I think is like fucking I think it was like Quadras. I think it was Quadras versus McWilliams Arroyo. Oh my god, it was just
Yeah.
so much leather flinging, so much punching, so much this, so much that, and it was a majority decision. I'm like, man, I don't like, bro. Who the fuck is like? Come on, man.
And
Like
and
all
and
the
and PBC and Al Heyman, because they work with the promoter in Puerto Rico, Puerto Rican Best, and he got the McWilliam brothers. So Al Heyman has used them guys so much, and I tell you, man, every time I see McWilliams or McJoe Arroyo fight, I'm like, man, I go on and start flipping because usually, fights are on Saturday night, so it'd be a basketball or a football game on. I'm watching that, and I might flip to make sure nobody got knocked out because man, I know what it's about to be. It's about to be some slapping.
I mean, yeah, man. Like it's cool. I mean, they show some technical proficiency. They have jabs that go to the body, but again, it's just like it's like they're fighting with Nerf. Like it's not a lot being done. And the worst part is, like I said, because they all have similar leverages. They all throw the same punches. They all throw the same combinations. It's fucking boring. It's like, oh my god. Like there's no punch diversity. It's like it's like I said. It's almost like the same dudes are fighting. It's the
Yeah,
same. It's the same guy.
Eric Gomez, you right, bro. I agree with you, Eric, because Floyd did realize that, and he found a way. He said, "You know what? You're not gonna love me, but I tell you what, you're gonna hate me, and you're gonna hate me enough. You're gonna pay me because you're gonna want to see people do something to me." Yeah, and also Floyd won all those fights because had Floyd lost some fights coming up, no one would have cared enough about him. You know what I'm saying? Want to see him lose because
Yeah,
we all
he would have got the Thurman treatment. They people
right.
it's like people throw Thurman away after one fucking loss.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So that's how I look at that, man. It's
Yeah. Wait, Filipino fighters idolize black Americans because of their athleticism. Yeah, they might have done that, but whenever it's Filipino versus black, their true colors come out. I don't want to hear that shit. Uh, I remember, I remember when it was fucking Pacquiao versus Bradley. They didn't care about no athleticism. They just knew Bradley's can't punch ass wasn't gonna do nothing.
right. And let's be honest, man. Uh, I thought Pacquiao beat Tim Bradley 3 times, man. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta be honest. He beat MAGA Tim every time they fought. They robbed Pacquiao that first fight. They robbed him.
Yeah,
Point blank.
It's because Bradley can't punch. There's another guy who can't punch.
And
You
Bradley
have
didn't And Bradley is known for being a warrior, but he fought scared that third fight.
Yeah. And Eric Gomez, yes, you have a DAZN subscription because for most of the year, DAZN doesn't put on any decent fights. I had this discussion with somebody on fucking Twitter. I'm like, the reason why you buy DAZN is because it's like the Netflix of boxing. 99% of their catalog is pure trash, and
Yep.
you get to watch some random boxing for free. They have a cheap price point because they have no pay per view worthy stars, and the pay per view worthy stars they do have are not signed to Matchroom. They're just partners with Matchroom. So they have
Right.
nobody to sell. Like Virgil Ortiz Jr. is with Golden Boy, Devin Haney's independent, Canelo's independent. Who the fuck are they selling? They're not selling
Right.
anybody. Like you can't even like Eric Gomez. If you go over the past 2 years, the majority of the zone's fights, you can't even tell me who the hell's fighting.
Right.
All
Bunch
you
of
know is
domestic fights. That's why, Eddie Hearn ain't getting into women's boxing because he want to be a pioneer helping women boxing. He just needs some content. You know what I'm saying? He needs some fights to put on. So he
yeah, he
went
trying to
signed up women boxing, and it's fun. You know what I'm saying? Because you might get a good women fight, but a lot of them be um, mismatches, and that's something that I hate that women boxing gonna have to do. Don't get me wrong, men boxing do too, but in some of those women fights, I be feeling like these girls may lose their life. You know what I'm saying? Like they that outmatched. It's crazy.
yeah, like what's I forgot somebody was in there with a damn school teacher and blew her ass out in like 7 seconds.
Yeah, the Mexican girl Estrada. I think
Yeah,
that's her name.
Sinisa
Estrada.
Estrada. Yeah, they had
Yeah,
they had that they had that bitch in there with a homeroom teacher that had like two fights and blew her ass out.
yeah, beat it in like 7 seconds.
Oh.
That
Yeah,
that that shouldn't even been televised.
yeah,
And if I ain't mistaken, Estrada was a world champion at some point, right?
yeah. I think she is right now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
come on, man.
Well, Eric
Come
Gomez, that's a matter of perspective. But I didn't care about Canelo versus Yildirim, and I didn't care
Yeah.
about Canelo versus Callum Smith or Billy Joe Saunders, any of
Yep.
those fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a perspective. People just say that because they're going to be biased anyway. You were never going to like the PBC no matter what payment model they put up because the zone is going to convert to pay per view, and I guarantee you won't be complaining about it. They're even talking about Usyk versus AJ2 being on pay per view.
Hey, and you know something? Today, Art Man has said, why do people hate Al Heyman so much and he doesn't talk? Because Al Heyman, first of all, if Al Heyman got around and he ran his mouth and talked like Don King and all them, they still wouldn't like him, but they might respect him more because he was acting like a buffoon. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? They love for us to be, you know, uh, you know, act, like we crazy or put on a show for them. They
Or
love that
fight it or fight each other.
fight each other or arguing with each other or anything that's negative. And so Al Heyman just make power moves. He's super intelligent. He makes the average, person that's non-black, he makes them uncomfortable because that he's smarter than you. And some people can't stand that, man, to see a real intelligent black guy. And like I say, he says nothing. So you get upset because he ain't talking. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's
yeah,
crazy.
and it's sad because like people know automatically. Oh, Bob Arum went to Harvard, and then when I say yeah, so did Al Heyman, they're like what? And then they got to go do some research. I'm like, nah, yeah,
Right,
you forget he didn't go to law school, but he went to business school.
right. At Harvard.
Exactly.
And he outsmarts the old lawyers that came from Harvard. And I mean, we done talked about that. How Willie Gary is one of the top lawyers in the world, and he went to school at North Carolina Central and Shaw. You know what I'm saying? So that Harvard thing, you know what I'm saying? When they can't believe a black guy actually went to Harvard and this and that. I mean, yeah, I agree because it's you would think that it'd be so racist they wouldn't allow him, but he did, you know. And not
Speaking
only
of,
that, look at what he did in the music game. Like people don't even know the history of Al Heyman and what he did with Michael Jackson and all these different people, Aretha Franklin and just everybody, man, putting on these shows.
yeah, and look at this fool. Speaking of, he's like, if T'Challa were still alive, y'all would say he's ducking the Black Panther. T'Challa is not dead. T'Challa never existed. He's a fictional character. One of the many one
Did he
one of the
say T'Challa ducked the Black Panther?
well, first of all, he said if T'Challa were alive. T'Challa's not dead because he never existed. T'Challa's not a real person. The one of the many actors that played him is dead. You goddamn idiot. This is how I
Right.
know these dudes are so little. Focus on graduating high school with more than a 2.0 before you like it's way past y'all bedtime. Dude, finish your fucking ESL homework and go to sleep. Like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Ain't that crazy? The
Yeah,
man like
T'Challa were
like
alive.
what's
Like
T'Challa last name?
exactly. Like Chadwick Boseman was a real person. T'Challa's a fictional character. The hell you talking about? Like the mother that's like me saying fucking Speedy Gonzalez died because the little shit that voices him died. Like no, that's not how that works. Speedy Gonzalez never existed. Fucking idiot. Oh my god.
Who said that, man?
I don't know.
T'Challa, man.
I don't know. Some weirdo from
Oh my
Artman.
God.
Some weirdo from Artman's Facebook. Like I don't know. Like I never had a Facebook, so I don't really know what happens over there. But Jesus,
Hey man, that's just like if I get up here and start talking about man, Charles Xavier.
right? Like, bro,
Ah, man, it's crazy. T'Challa. Oh my God. Oh
man,
man. And he probably
this
go to bed at night. He probably was crying. T'Challa's gone. Oh man.
is Jesus Christ, and then this motherfucker. I think I know him from Instagram. I think
Okay.
so. He admitted to being a grown man, still being emotional over boxing fighters he doesn't know exist. Now he's just repeating after me. Speedy Gonzalez versus because that's what I say about Canelo fans. I don't get emotional about the shit. You don't see me up at 11 o'clock at night going to one of your favorite person's live stream to talk shit about Wilder. Y'all need to like Wilder. No, I don't know any of the channels y'all like because I don't give a fuck.
Right.
How about you? How about you go hang out with people that like you? Why are you over here bugging my ass, Speedy? I blocked you. I don't even know you, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? The fuck? And
And so
how the
you
hell did I?
blocked him?
How did I block him when I've seen his post? How does that work? You can't see posts that you block. So I don't know what the fuck you talking about. And also, if I did block you, that doesn't make me weak. That means you ain't got shit to do but stalk me at 11 o'clock at night. So clearly, you got emotional issues over here stalking my ass. But yeah, like I don't stalk y'all. Y'all stalk me. Y'all actually care about what I have to say. Whereas if I saw you on a live stream, I'd fucking leave.
Hmm.
On Twitter, yeah, probably you were probably making George Floyd memes and saying stupid shit. That's usually why I block people. Because every time one of the Hispanic fans gets mad, they start sending me George Floyd memes and fucking Wilder memes and oh, you guys are welfare rats and all that bullshit. I don't have time for that shit. So yeah, I'll
Crackhead.
probably block. Yeah,
Oh,
crackhead,
yeah.
crack
Ain't
baby.
that the one?
Yeah, look at him. He's fucking emotional because I blocked him. Like, why you block me? Why can't we talk? Nah, go away, bro. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. But yeah, no, it's funny. It's just craziness. Like we don't have to like every branch of boxing. And the truth of the matter is that most of these people don't even like don't even like those types of fights because a lot of people you probably seen Julius. A lot of people didn't even recognize Ray Vargas until he moved up to 126. He was at
Right.
122. He wasn't getting no respect.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. And Ray Vargas been putting in work for years. You know what I'm
Precisely. Precisely.
Good, solid fighter.
Precisely. Which Mexican boxer are you talking about? Wait, who? I didn't know. I didn't know she was Mexican. I just put someone getting punched. She wasn't dead in the photo. She was alive. Honestly. I didn't even know she had passed away until I saw that photo. I didn't even make it. But it is what it is. Like I said, you guys don't police people making George Floyd memes. Go bother them. We're talking about Chocolatito. Chocolatito isn't Mexican.
Right. He from
Chocolate,
Nicaragua.
yeah,
He from,
Chocolatito isn't even Mexican.
no, he from Nicaragua.
Yeah, Chocolatito and McWilliams Arroyo is Puerto Rican. None of those people are Mexican. You're telling me not to get emotional, and you're over here like, yeah. How could I tell she was Mexican, bro? Not all Mexicans look alike. She could have been Venezuelan. She could have been Honduran. She could have been anything. I didn't know she's Mexican. The fuck?
Right.
Yeah, that's racist on your part. You thought that because she was a brown skinned girl that I would just assume she was Mexican out of nowhere. Yeah, no, that's racist on your part. That's like me assuming Tiafimo is Puerto Rican. So I don't know if he's Puerto Rican. He had to tell me he's Honduran. Like I said, Mexicans are not all the same. So she could have been Mexican, Venezuelan, Brazilian, Honduran. She could have been anything. So no, I didn't really know. Someone had to tell me. So that's why I see why Mexican fans took offense because she happens to be Mexican, but I didn't know. Drippa, Twitter's not worth it. Twitter is not worth it at all. It's a waste of fucking time. It's a waste of time. And I'm probably gonna keep it this year and then probably get rid of it. Probably get rid of it at the end of the year because it's fucking. What you talking about? Canelo. We're talking about Chocolatito. This is what I'm talking about, bro. Like we're literally talking about Chocolatito and they're bringing up Canelo out of nowhere.
We talking about a 115-pound Nicaraguan fighter, and they
Yeah,
bring up.
not exactly. We're not even talking about Canelo. We're talking about Chocolatito and Estrada. Well, not Estrada. But we're talking about Chocolatito and McWilliams Arroyo. We can't even live. We can't even live.
Right. Yeah, man. But that's wild though, man. That's wild. I'm a remember that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's gonna be with me all tomorrow, man. I'm gonna be thinking about the guy talking about
T'Challa.
yeah.
This is what I mean. And it's funny because check this out, people. He thought T'Challa was a real person and he died. Y'all not attacking him. Look at what you did. It's 11 o'clock at night. Go to fucking bed. I've never gotten so much as a fucking traffic ticket, but all of a sudden I'm Satan. Like go to fucking bed. Look at the time. It's not. First of all, it's not my live. It's not my live. And second of all, the live says don't talk about Canelo. So we're not talking about Canelo. You came in talking about Canelo, bro. We're talking about fucking Chocolatito. Oh well, Drippa, that's just Twitter now. And like I said, you're lucky that you got kicked off when you did because it's been black people going at black people harder than the racists, so it's pointless. Like I said, this is why Dante's Boxing Nation dipped on the United States and just went to Thailand. He said, "Fuck it," and
Man,
now,
bro, I don't blame Dante because you know what? And I'm not trying to sound like Tefimo Lopez, but let's be honest, man. The way that this world is that we live in, especially in the states, man, is so disheartening, man, and it's just so discouraged, and like it just make you just what I'm saying, not want to deal with people. Like being for real, you don't really want to deal with nobody, man. You don't really want to do a whole lot of what I'm saying. Just the interaction, everything just plain negative, just
yeah,
negative.
not at all. And that's why I don't hold being in an interracial relationship against black men. I don't think that's a standard to be pro black. And that's just me. A lot of black people be against me on that, and that's okay. I don't mind. You can say whatever you want about me. But the truth of the matter is black male life is so difficult that it's not fair for me to tell a black man to put off his happiness and his mental well-being to fit some sort of arbitrary standard from a bunch of people who aren't going to like him anyway. And that's why yeah, and that's why I can't even fault Dante's Boxing Nation. Now his entrepreneurial ventures and all his money are benefiting the taxpayers of Thailand. And to be honest,
Right.
I look at that as not only America's fault, but that's our fault. Clearly, we
Right.
didn't make him comfortable enough to where he was
Right.
comfortable. Yeah, to where he was comfortable, doing, to where he's comfortable staying here. And that's why I don't do that, bro. This is not my show. This is not my show. I do not run this show. I do not have a channel. This is Artman's show. Take it up with Artman. Why the fuck people think I'm hosting this shit? This ain't me. This ain't my fucking show. Like he's like, oh, look what he named the show. I didn't fucking bro. Like nobody. I didn't name the show that.
Hold
Like I
on,
said,
hold
we're
on,
not.
hold on. I named that show "Don't Talk About Canelo." It's because fans they treat us like that is one name. They treat Canelo name like the fucking like how they treat the Jewish community when you talk about them. You gotta be very careful, or we're gonna
And
come at you.
keep in mind when they say don't talk about them, they mean niggas. Anybody
Yeah,
else can talk about Canelo, just not black people. Black people can't be talking about him.
I mean, look. Marquez said his own shit, and they hate Marquez. They talking about Marquez just jealous. The guy who got Mexico one of their biggest victories of all fucking history of Mexico. They telling that nigga to shut up because it's Canelo's time. Ain't that crazy?
Also, too, Juan Manuel Marquez was a legitimate four division champion too. A lot of people forget that. Marquez won at 22 all the way to 35. You know, and he beat Pacquiao at 47, I believe, or 40 or 47. But man,
Hey, Vargas getting on your ass, D high. Hold on,
He
I didn't see this comment.
he thinks it's my yeah he thinks it's my show. I didn't name the fucking show,
Nah,
bro.
Vargas, that's my show, bro. That's what I named it.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? This says Art Man channel. It says Art Man.
You talk about Canelo more than y'all do your favorite fighter. Yeah, because Canelo the face of boxing, right?
Exactly. They'll say he's the face of boxing, but we shouldn't be talking about him. What the fuck? Bro, my thing is Jose Vargas. Jose Vargas. My thing is, why do you care who talking about him? He don't know you. Like he doesn't know you. You being his unpaid intern ain't getting you no closer. Shit, you should be up at 11 p.m. trying to drive to San Diego and meet this nigga. Why are you
yeah,
talking to us for?
Real shit though. I
yeah,
talk
Yeah,
about Canelo because even though y'all don't want me to talk about him, there's fans who do like when I talk about him, according to my analytics. So
yeah.
yeah.
The man is trying to run a fucking platform here and drive traffic. So it's like, yeah, he should be talking about the face of fucking
Face of
boxing, not
boxing.
and
but
and
not the
and so too, it's a boxing show that you're
Yeah,
doing
and
right.
we keeping it
So
hundred
you're
because
talking about
look,
a box.
even though it's named this, we still talk about all things boxing.
yeah. We were literally just talking about Chocolatito and Arroyo when that dude came in, and he was like, "Why you guys talking about Canelo?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like we were literally talking about Chocolatito and Arroyo's careers and how those dudes fight each other. But this dude comes in like, "Why are you talking about Canelo?" Man, why do you care? Why the fuck do you care?
Do you
Give,
know there's people who make pro Canelo channels that are black,
yeah, and they
and they
get
don't
all
say
the
nothing,
traffic.
and the dude don't say nothing about
Nothing.
nothing, but
Because
people
they
just like
talking
it because he's saying pro Canelo stuff. Would y'all
Yeah,
rather
dude.
have me be on some fake shit like that, or would you rather have me give me your honest opinion?
Of course they would
Everything I'm
rather.
saying about Canelo is not, oh, I'm making it up. Oh, Canelo's a drug cheat. Oh, Canelo stealing ladies' purses. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying shit like that. Come
right,
on now. I'm talking boxing and
right,
I'm keeping it 100. And it's my
right.
opinion. My opinion on my channel on YouTube.
Right.
Bro, Jose Vargas, the same channels that you watch that talk about Wilder, Mayweather, and Charlo, they probably do the same shit, bro. They probably say the same shit every fucking day. Oh, well,
The
Charlo
dude,
looked bad. Charlo
the
looked bad
dude,
against Montiel. Mayweather had the IV. They probably say the same shit every single day, bro.
I know a dude with a YouTube channel who's not the biggest Wilder fan at all. And he says he's so glad he made this video about Wilder because it literally pays for his cell phone bill.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Like,
and
like
and
keep
and how about this? if you wasn't talking about Canelo, he probably wouldn't even have came up here. He came
Hey,
up here to the
D-Hive,
show because he want to hear something.
D-Hive, you seen that post I posted today? When somebody said Canelo's a bum, I retweeted it and I said, no, he's not. Show that man some respect.
Yeah, yeah, man. And
Where was everybody at?
they act like we say he's a bum. No, we're not saying that Canelo is a terrible fighter. We're saying that he affects boxing politics and he's probably on PEDs. And the thing is, we say the same thing about Tyson Fury, and none of Tyson Fury's fans come in here fucking crying. Like maybe one or two of them, but with y'all, it's a fucking army. This is why the media hates dealing with y'all. Y'all are fucking annoying. Like imagine Al Bernstein or some shit trying to run a live stream or a podcast. He says one thing about Canelo. Next thing you know, his shit's jamming because we got a bunch of these fucking 12-year-olds in here crying. Like, god damn.
I agree, man.
They treat Canelo like he the only one left.
Anyways,
Hey, look.
making fun of himself. What are you saying, dude? I purposely showed your comments just so you can have a voice up here, and you're saying I'm making himself sound like a goofy. Gotta be
Hold
funny.
on.
Like,
Somebody says, and you see, this is what I don't like right here. He said
Okay.
He said that's fine, y'all. Y'all can say whatever, but keep it about boxing. But when y'all straight up hating on Rasa, I've been through some of y'all lives for a minute now. I ain't
if
hating on
you
Rasa.
if you have
Canelo
been
is
on the
not.
live, oh, go
Let
ahead,
me.
go ahead, go
Can
ahead.
I ask y'all a question? Is Canelo the entire country of Mexico?
No, but that's what they think. And if you've been on our lives, you know that we've never hated on Mexican people specifically. But let me ask you this, Andres Lira. Let me ask you this, bro. Do you go on other channels and tell them to make sure that they don't hate on black people and keep it boxing? Yes or no?
Or do you
Great.
are you one of those people who share fucking bullshit ass memes talking about Floyd Mayweather's IV?
Right.
What is
Answer
that?
that.
Y'all think that is fine? Sharing complete lies about this man? Y'all think that is fine? Y'all don't say nothing. Hey man, that's disrespectful. Y'all never say that to these dudes.
Yeah, I guarantee this dude won't go in a Lalo chat saying, "Hey, show some respect to Clarissa Shields, man. You didn't have to do it like that. Tiafimo got his ass beat, and you didn't make a single meme."
Mm-hmm.
Nobody said, "Damn,
And
Lalo boxing." Look, nobody made a meme about Lalo boxing getting
and
fucking
when
Teofimo versus George Kambosos wrong.
and
We
I want to
waiting,
know,
Andreas. We waiting, bro. It's
when
on
were
you
we
on hush
talking
mode.
about La Raza?
Right, Larasa
Because
never
I
came
ain't
up.
never said it. I've
We
never
were
said it.
we were literally talking about non-Mexican people, and this dude came in talking about, "Hey, you better." First of all, we can talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about. If I want to make fun of y'all until I fucking kill over, I could do that. But luckily for you, that's not the kind of shit I'm on. Right. So I don't tweet memes. I definitely don't make fun of no different. Right. So basically, no, he's gonna police us on what we can talk about. But whenever people make fun of black people, he's cool with that. Right. That's
They're
exactly.
cool with it. They're cool with it
Yeah.
because you
That's
know what it
exactly
is.
what. That's exactly
You
what
know
I
what that
thought.
tells me. You know what that tells me. That tells me that they feel like we're supposed to be treated that way.
Yeah.
That's
Of
why
course
Exactly.
they do.
nobody should speak. Nobody should speak upon it. We're supposed to be treated that way because when y'all had Mario Lopez laughing at George
Mm-hmm.
Floyd's death,
That's
y'all didn't
None of
say,
them
"Hey
came
man,
out.
why
hey
they
man,
didn't
hey man,
cancel.
that's
Hey,
bogus, man."
let me tell
None
you
of
this.
them came out.
When Mario Lopez did that, what's the show that AC Slater that he was
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
Okay. Saved by the Bell. We
Right.
shouldn't even be seeing any Saved by the Bell old shows should come on. We should, you know what I'm saying? They should be canceled. How about that? Mario Lopez laughed. He didn't spend it or anything. And no one non-black made a fuss on it. No one said nothing.
Not at all. And it's funny, and it's so funny because I was explaining to somebody that don't like Art Man today. They were coming at me about that meme shit. Number one, like I said, I'm not too concerned about it because it's the fucking internet, and that's not the worst thing you've seen on it. Number two, in that conversation, because the guy who screenshotted that bugs Art Man like every fucking day over it. And it's funny because he skipped over all the memes of George Floyd to find that. And then when I go back to the conversation, all the George Floyd memes are deleted. And I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what y'all do. But the thing is, what y'all got to understand is, I'm only seeking approval from one group of people. So if I gotta be like the evil boogeyman in your life, trust and believe I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. Like I said, I did what I did, and to be honest, it is what it is. It's not the worst thing you've ever seen on the internet. And also, what I was stating was a fact. The individual, in fact, could not take a punch. You were talking about,
My thing is, I don't like when people come to me because of something you did. Go
and vice
ask you out, man. What the fuck? I'm my own man.
and vice
Mhm.
versa. People will be like, "I heard you was talking about somebody, baby." What the fuck? That's not me. That's not a me thing. You need to go talk to the other person. Like, who fucking cares? But my biggest thing is who fucking like move on. Like I said, unless you were policing all the George Floyd memes, shut the hell up. Because when George Floyd was a meme out here, none of you were crying. None of you said,
Them dudes got that Wilder picture with the teddy bear and all that shit on standby.
"Hey, bro, exactly." And then also, what about the one of Wilder falling off a building to his death?
Wow.
Yeah.
They don't care, bro. So I'm like, bro, have your same energy or go away. That's all I am saying. Have your same energy or go away. Police your own people about racism like we do ours. Whenever we see Timothy
Oh,
Bradley get out of hand, we get on his ass. Whenever we see Andre Ward getting out of hand, we get on his ass. So go police your own people like you try to police us.
and you know what? Speaking of Dante's Boxer Nation, I was laughing at some dude today. I said I wouldn't be surprised if you had a picture of me and Dante Boxer Nation on your wall. You throw darts at it all fucking day.
Dude, like it's fucking weird. Like they
Because
never
I
see
try to
me
ask him. I said, "Why you don't like Dante Boxer Nation?" He said,
Right.
Because he's fat. Because
because he's
he's fat
fat.
with
Because
cheeseburgers." And
he's
I'm like,
fat.
bro, what the fuck?
The fuck that got
Yeah,
to do with anything? Dan Raphael fat as hell.
it's
Right.
because
Exactly.
you know Dante Boxer Nation. He keeps it 100 when it comes to Canelo. Dude, I done heard a lot of Canelo fans say, "Don't listen to Dante, bro. He be lying." And I'm like, hold on, let me listen to the shit you talking about. That nigga ain't lying about nothing. What the fuck?
Nothing. And he makes like hour-long videos with facts and evidence and everything, and they can't even fucking dispute it. They just say I
They
don't like
can't
what he's
even
saying.
dispute it. They just say they don't like it. And why is he talking about him?
But you
He
know, but
has
you know what? But you know what videos they do watch of Dante's
what?
when he criticizing Spence,
Mm.
By the
because
book.
he Team Bud, right?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I heard him talk too. I heard him talk about the whole, oh, you shouldn't care about the 60-40. They should just make it 50-50. And I heard stuff like that, rumblings, and him not liking him wanting to clean up the side of his street. It is what it is, man, because at the end of the day, we're here right now, and you explain to the world who was the reason why the fight couldn't be made.
Right. Hey man. And hey, I like Dante because Dante is real good at calling out them race soldiers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely about calling them out. Uh, Even the black race soldiers, or the coons. I call them
Mhm.
out the same way, man.
Tim Bradley, Andre Ward, Ishe Smith, all of them niggas.
Yeah, yeah,
Bro, it
definitely.
would suck to be in that lineup of just known as a coon. Like,
Yeah,
Especially,
man.
especially for Ishe Smith, because he ain't getting no money off it. He just on the internet talking. He ain't getting no money.
just
And then
cooning.
we try to put him in a situation where he can make some money. I'm like, each day, what's up? Let's do a little fight, me and you. What's up? For some bread. Tell Trillis, we'll set it up, crowdfund me, all
So
that shit.
yeah, no, they don't want to they don't
The
want to
guy.
conduct business. But I
Yeah,
guarantee if fucking Stan Jonas is some shit off from a fight, he'll get off his ass.
and
Off his
and
ass.
here's the crazy thing. Paulie Malignaggi fought the guy that slapped that powder on the back of his neck. Fought him.
That's what I'm saying. Like during that
He
Wilder
helped
versus
that
Fury
guy.
thing, it was a perfect time because passions were super high. Nigga,
Mm-hmm.
bro, we could have made something happen off that shit.
Could
We
have
could still
made.
make it happen. But people just too ignorant. Niggas talking about they want to have
Yeah.
street fights in the snow and shit.
Right, and buried in 4 feet of snow. Let's fight outside while it's cold as shit. No, that's dumb. Like, and it's funny because I always tell people in the industry that I work in, partnering with government partners and stuff. I get to see how all the different groups amalgamate their assets and how they gather resources and power. And when you compare every other group to black people, it's not even close. We are economically getting
Close.
blown out. It's not even close to
Mm.
how efficient the other people are.
Yeah. But I tell you something in healthcare, they can have all that money in the world, but at the end of the day, they be looking real crazy when nobody's there around and that money can't save you.
Hmm.
And the ones that are healthy, I'll tell you who. But
Hmm.
I ain't gonna get too much into that. That's just my thing is, it's like this. Each group has their own agenda and their own group self interest. And I feel
Hmm.
like, of course, the system put us in a predicament where we don't even prioritize moving like a group. They made it where you can make money by purposely doing stuff to harm the group.
Hmm.
I forgot what it's called, but what's his name? Dr. Claudia Anderson always speaks on it. How they literally used to pay black folks to rat out on each other.
Hmm.
Yeah, and they always try to maintain the gender differential, even in current public policy. That's why you'll notice there are a bunch of grants for black female entrepreneurship, but none for men or none for black people in general.
Right.
The goal is for us to destroy ourselves.
And
Man,
Jay, Jay Lip, you're right.
I know a chick with no kids. They told her, you can't get food stamps, but if you come back pregnant, basically, without a
You
man,
can get
you
it.
know, ain't that crazy? Like, yeah,
The
you can be
man
pregnant.
the man in the house rule dates back to the 1970s. A lot of for black families, you couldn't have a man in the house to receive a welfare check
Mm-mm.
because they needed to make sure that the house was dysfunctional. Whereas for white families, it wasn't even the same.
Hmm. Man, this system is crazy. Hey, look, man, I'm gonna go, guys, but I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow, man. If you're coming up, all right.
Yeah, we gonna keep on talking. I'm gonna speak this Canelo Charlo into existence.
The
Please,
same man that made him again.
please.
Oh, see, have a good one, Julius.
All right,
Again,
brother.
again, if you're not gonna call out the people who make fun of Wilder and George Floyd, shut your fucking mouth about me. Exposed. I'm not a guy, man. Like it's funny because half the people up here aren't showing their faces, but you're only worried about me.
And
So how
you see what they do? They see what they do. It's like they got the little community and they be like, oh, these guys, they're talking about Canelo. And they try to say, oh, man, you should listen to these guys. These guys are bad people. They hate
yeah,
Mexicans.
man. It's like, dude,
Nah, nigga.
go bother somebody else. Again, literally Mario Lopez is a fucking real life celebrity making laughing at George Floyd
Floyd.
and
Yeah,
and you're
bro,
and
I'm
your
a
ass is
Minnesota
bothering me.
native, man.
I'm insignificant. Go the fuck away.
I'm a Minnesota native. I literally seen the city fucking burn to the damn ground over this man's death. And here you guys are in fucking Phoenix, Arizona, posting memes of fucking George Floyd, you know what I'm saying, looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? It
And,
just
and
doesn't
lit-
make any sense.
And literally, I'm trying. I didn't even block that dude. This is another guy. I'm trying to be fucking nice to you. I'm showing your bullshit comments. Like you don't understand, Jose Vargas. All your comments are being flagged by the channel. I'm the one that's unhiding them to make sure that you're
Yeah,
fucking to make
it's
sure that you're
it's
fucking
getting flagged because you're saying crazy shit.
yeah. I'm the one that's trying to make sure your fucking voice is heard. Not even Art Man is doing that for you. I'm the one that's trying to make sure you have a voice. Even this future boxing dude, he says I hate Mexicans. I was just shitting on Chocolatito and Triple G, and again, no white people said I hate white people. I was shitting on Tyson Fury. No UK people said I hate British people. It's just y'all. It's just y'all.
He said he talking out his ass. He know damn well he didn't see that dead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what this guy sound like? He sound like this guy that was in my inbox earlier today that got so fucking pissed off because I asked a question. I said, "Man, why nobody from the community speaking up on fucking what's his name Valdez? Then they're killing Burchell, and y'all
And I
know
got
he
the
dirty as shit. Y'all know he dirty. Y'all know he
and
dirty.
And I got the link. I got the link. I got the link for your bitch asses right there. I dropped the link for it about Africans facing rampant racism in the Mexico. I got the link, so have fun. Talking about I don't know what I'm talking about. I've been places that you guys are still trying to go right now. Most of you motherfuckers are not old enough to drink. You're not old enough to rent a car. You're not old enough to vote. There's the link. Have fun with it. Like, oh, he's just talking out of his ass. There's the link. Have fun with it. Anyways, now you guys, let's say keep it boxing. You're whining about a fucking photo in race relations. Like, shut the fuck up and get out of here.
And they tell us not to bring up race and all that shit. But
Stop talking about
it's like,
race.
and and then y'all get mad at guys like me and Dante when we tell you that boxing is fucking about race, pride, and nationality. I believe that shit wholeheartedly because I see it every day. When you criticize Canelo, even his own trainer who basically he said it. He basically told Caleb Plant that how can you disrespect Canelo, the man who put food and made babies in Mexico's mouth? How can you disrespect that guy? You know what I'm saying? When you attack Canelo, they treat it like you're attacking all of Mexico.
Yeah, and and it's crazy, man, because like I said, y'all disrespect other Mexican fighters to make Canelo look good. Like y'all the ones that said Benavidez wasn't Mexican. Like my criticism of Canelo has never been his Mexican heritage. That's not been my criticism because like I said, I'll keep repeating myself. I say the same things I say about Canelo, about Tyson Fury, and British people do not get butthurt. British people don't come be like, hey man, you don't like British people. They don't care because it's fucking boxing. I don't give a fuck. It's kind of like how Mexican people hate black people until they're watching the NFL. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's weird. Like, y'all be racist as hell for boxing Saturday and then go on to be like Martin Luther King on Sunday because it's football season. Like, it's crazy to me. That shit's absolutely nuts.
Well,
That shit is bipolar as fuck if I've ever seen it.
I don't know. Said the beehive honors. Boxing has always been about race, country, nationality, and pride. Of
Oh,
course, always, always,
yeah.
always, nigga. It's like the fucking football because you see your guy and he brings all his people out.
Yeah, and it's okay to admit it, but just don't hate a specific group. Like just don't try to hate on a specific group of people. Because
And
I
y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all know what y'all doing when y'all be pulling up wilder pictures. And I be thinking that's real cowardly because it's like Tyson Fury's not from Mexico. So even if he lost, he didn't lose to nobody from Mexico though.
yeah they you saw what happened today. Oh, he's a La Raza member. Tyson Fury's La Raza. I'm like, oh, so Tyson
Man,
Fury gets the pass, but y'all didn't try to claim Mayweather and Tank when they were wearing your colors. Ain't that a bitch?
I wonder why. Why is
Yeah,
that, Beehive?
and Mayweather and Tank are actually feeding Mexican fighters. You don't see Tyson Fury
Literally.
doing. You don't see Tyson Fury handing out fat ass paychecks. You don't see Tyson Fury trying to get no Mexican fighters paid. Shit. Fun fact for you assholes. TMT got more Hispanic fighters than they do black fighters signed. So does PBC. And y'all still talk this shit. It's amazing. We literally feed y'all. And y'all fucking hate us. That's honestly
Nigga, Leo Santa Cruz named his son after Al Heyman, nigga.
and honestly, I think that's what's wrong with us. I think we don't circle our wagons hard enough because we're so busy trying to fucking fit in and be accepted, so we don't have to deal with 100 of these assholes in our business every time we try to do something. Like, look at Shakur Stevenson today, trying to kiss Canelo's ass. I'm like, bro, it's not gonna work. They're killing you in the comments. They're saying, nah, you're not that guy. You need to fight some damn body. You're not that guy, bro. You're not that good. You'll never be Canelo. I'm like, dude, it's not gonna matter. They're not gonna like you. I keep trying to tell Shakur, they're not going to like you. They are not.
The
Your ass
same
needs to come
dudes
home.
that's under your comment section when you post this Canelo shit was sharing pictures of your mugshot.
Right. Exactly. And calling you Shakira. And the only way he'll get some respect is if he loses to Valdez.
They don't want to even get it, bro. They don't even want to see him in there with Valdez.
Nope, not at all. Not at all.
And I'm old. I'm gonna keep on saying it, and they know it. Me and D Hive literally had to bully fans into being Valdez fans again
They still
because
don't
we
want to talk
just look
about him.
so bad.
Yeah, they still not trying to talk about him. They don't want to talk about Valdez. They're not even calling for that fight to even happen. They're
Valdez
they're
is
at,
a champion from the soil, not a Mexican American. He's full blooded. He's full blooded, and he trains under Reynoso. And y'all don't want to see him fight the top guy, Shakur Stevenson. Y'all not excited for that?
nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. They're not even calling for the fight. They don't even
I
want it.
thought
You know,
I thought Reynoso was trainer of the year, right? If he's trainer of the year and he has an undefeated fighter, you don't think he can train this guy to beat Shakur?
he should be able to,
He
considering they've
should be
had
able to, right?
they've had such amazing success over quote unquote all styles of boxing. I mean, shit, Shakur. What does Shakur bring to the table that's particularly special?
He
I
can't
mean,
punch, remember?
right? He's pillow fisted. He's not that fast. He has chin problems, and a lot of people didn't respond to it. A lot of people didn't like it. But you know what I said on Twitter? I said that the reason why people are so high on Shakur Stevenson is because he looks like a younger, faster version of Errol Spence Jr.
He
That's the
just looked
truth.
like one killing it, man.
That's the truth of the matter. He looks how Errol Spence Jr. once did, except faster. He's faster than Errol Spence Jr. He's faster on his feet. He's faster on his hands. He's a little bit more liberal with his punch selection. He throws more uppercuts than Errol Spence does, but effectively, that's what y'all see, and that's why he looks, so good.
And they know Valdez can't compete.
Oh shit, this dude is Canelo and Tyson Kings. He can't even spell. Okay, that's cool. They can be all that, bro. Like no one is saying that they're bad fighters. No one is saying that they're not champions. Again, stop letting people get you emotional. We're trying to talk some damn boxing. Motherfuckers come in crying about some shit like Jesus Christ. Again, go police other people. Everyone always trying to police what black people are talking about. Shit, does
You know,
don't your
some of these people are Mayweather's survivors.
survivors?
You know when I say survivors is they survived the Mayweather era, and now they're in the era of, well, Canelo's, he's the top dog now, and you just got to face it. And they don't want us to be in the position where Canelo loses again, man, and they see another guy on top like that, especially if he's black.
Precisely.
They don't want that. Imagine if Canelo loses to Charlo by knockout. Man, do you remember that silence when Canelo threw that belt in the trash?
Wait, Canelo threw the belt in the trash?
Basically, because he didn't want to fight Triple G.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. People weren't saying shit until after the second Triple G fight, until he actually got a clean W. Because even after the first one, the failed drug test came in. Canelo fans didn't want to come out and publicly support him. They were like, shit. And then after they found a way around that, then they were like, yeah, Canelo's P for P. But y'all were real quiet when the allegations first came out. None of you fucking scientists with PhDs in chemistry had enough courage to step up and defend him.
I just remember the morning I woke up and seen that news, man. Because it was like this. Because I was still kind of high on that fight. Because people say Art Man hate Mexicans, hate Canelo. I had $100 crispy on motherfucking Canelo Alvarez, and it was a draw. But I thought to myself, I said, dude, win, lose, or draw, Canelo looked freaking amazing in that fight. I've never seen him look like that ever. When I seen that news, everything just made sense to me.
Yep.
It just made sense. But to everybody else, they just left them confused.
Yeah, they were just quiet.
Quiet.
They were just quiet, and they were waiting to be fed narratives by Suleiman, by whoever. They needed to be fed something like shit. What do we say in these arguments? That's why whenever they're trying to make a point, they have to tag somebody else. Like they have to tag team because they don't know enough by themselves. So they're like shit.
They
What are
gotta
the
come
tests?
with numbers, and that's why they
Yeah,
be rounding each other up. Like, man, did you see what Artman and them and D Hive said? They hate Mexicans. Yeah, you see they hate Mexicans. Now let's go on their page and just tell them and tag team and tell them how much they hate La Raza.
yeah. Let's tell them to talk about boxing while we also not talk about boxing. Like and like I said, I'm in here trying to show all your comments to make sure your voice is heard, but you're telling us to talk about boxing and you're crying about other shit. Either talk about boxing or fuck off, bro. Last chance.
And then they say, oh, Artman hates on Canelo, but he draws Canelo. He's a boxer, isn't he? I don't get it. First, they'll say things like, "Oh, Artman only draws black fighters and black this and black that." But when you see me painting Canelo and whoever, it's, "Oh, he's just using them, man." You can't have your cake and eat it too, man.
Yeah, and now this guy, I showed him the article, and now he's providing a justification for anti-blackness in Mexico, as opposed to just coming to terms with the reality. Like I said, bro, you asked me for proof of the article, and I showed you. Now you're just saying, well, it's okay because they would have got treated like shit in the U.S., so it doesn't matter what Mexico does. That's called bullshit,
What?
Andreas. Look at him. That's basically what he's saying. He's like any
What?
outsider. He says any outsider is obviously going to get the stare, but you playing it like Mexico is one of the countries who would showcase that type of treatment. They would have had rocks thrown at them if they were in the U.S. He's basically saying it doesn't matter if Mexico treats black immigrants like shit because the U.S. is going to treat them like shit anyways. So that doesn't matter. I'm like, okay, cool. We know that's how you feel. My entire point was to show that you don't care about anti-blackness and you're only concerned about your own. That's perfectly fine. That's how I feel. I'm only concerned about my own, and you can do whatever you like. So again, fuck off. Talk boxing or get off. Like they literally admit that they only care about their own and they don't care about black people, but then they want to hold us to some kind of magical fucking standard. Like, dude, get out of here. Get out of here.
And you know what I don't like? I don't like how y'all get so prideful, prideful, prideful. Mexico this, but then when we say, okay, we prideful too. We proud fucking foundation of Black Bears. So now when we look at Charlo versus Canelo, we look at it as Mexico versus America, or Valdez versus Mexico versus America. And they talking about looking at my timeline and saying things like, oh, all you do is talk about La Raza. No, if you look at my timeline, you see I'm talking about two fighters from two different countries fighting each other.
But it's funny because Artman, when your timeline was all about Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, these same people crying about La Raza hated you then.
Why do you think they
So
followed me? They came from that crowd.
yeah, so it doesn't matter what you talk about. Just admit you people are always gonna hate and move the fuck on. Like I don't understand. This man comes in saying you guys better talk about boxing. He's over here talking about international geopolitics like he knows some shit. Get the fuck out of here, man. You probably work at a fucking Staples or some shit. I probably bought some pencils from your ass. Like, dude, just move on. Like Jesus Christ. Yeah, I agree, Eric Gomez. Injustice is wrong. That's why when I talk about Burchell getting screwed over, these guys get silent. When I talk about Conceição getting screwed over, when I talk about Ray Vargas getting screwed over, these guys. When I talk about Benavidez getting screwed over, these guys get silent. They don't say
Because
oh you fucking you hater. No, they don't do all of that. They just get quiet.
Canelo Man fans will throw other Mexicans under the bus for Canelo Alvarez. Not even
And
just
it's
other Mexicans, other Latinos under the bus for Canelo Alvarez.
and it's sad because Canelo looks the least Mexican. And
You
and it's
want to
and
know
it's
the only reason why they ride with Valdez is because they know if they start coming at Valdez, they're gonna have to start pointing fingers at Reynoso. And if they're pointing fingers at Reynoso, you know who else they're gonna have to point fingers at.
uh-huh.
So they just like leave Valdez alone, man. I had dudes tell me Fetterman is not even a ped, just like they told me Clenbuterol is not even a ped.
Yeah,
It
they
just helps you
all
cut. It just helps you cut weight, bro. Anybody will want to use that, bro. It just helps you cut weight, bro.
yeah they
And I
all
always use the analogy, like you said. Imagine if motherfucking Mike Tyson can drop down to fucking light heavyweight comfortably and keep all his power and speed.
man man fuck that. Imagine if Deontay Wilder cut down to 168. They would be they would be fucking crying. They would literally call the police on Wilder so he couldn't compete anymore. They would
Look
be
how
like
hard they going over a fucking IV. You niggas
literally
is, bro. Y'all pop phentermine, clenbuterol. Y'all act like that shit don't even exist. But oh fucking let somebody fucking have some saline. It's a fucking problem.
like saline and water. That's what's in the IV. And I tried to explain to a dude. I'm like, Floyd, according to the reports, was strapped to probably a 1,500 milliliter IV. He was trying to make a fight at 154. People were crying steroids. I'm like, first of all, that's how I can tell you don't know what steroids are. If Floyd had an IV worth of steroids strapped to his ass, his heart would explode. The hell y'all talking about? You can take any steroid on the planet, testosterone, clenbuterol, nandrolone, trembolone, anything you want. If you got 15 milliliters of the shit, 1,500 milliliters of the shit, your ass will die within 15 minutes. Floyd's little
Your
ass
heart will
body,
explode.
literally, Floyd's little ass body cannot handle an IV's worth of steroids or PEDs. He can't handle that shit. He was trying to stay alive. Yeah, I'm gonna remove you if you keep spamming. Like I let you guys come back, but you guys keep spamming. You guys aren't adding anything to the
What he
conversation.
said? Tyson and Canelo won. Ha ha ha. And y'all act like some fucking spoiled white girls or some shit.
That's not why I'm muting him. I'm muting him because he says a bunch of other weird shit. So him
Uh,
saying Canelo and Tyson won is perfectly fine because they did win. But the other shit that he has, he's not adding anything. Like Andres Lira has been trying to debate me about fucking international ethnic politics for the last fucking hour.
and what's his name says this is a pretty interesting conversation. Yep,
Yeah,
it
we're
is.
trying to
And
we're trying to be mentally stimulating, but some people coming in either crying about Twitter or crying about fucking race relations outside of boxing. Like Jesus Christ.
they love it though. They love it. And I tell them all the time, don't act like y'all like me because I'm like y'all subconscious. Facts. Y'all know it, but y'all don't want to say it. So when I say it, y'all start attacking me. Oh, how can you say this even though we feel this way? Like this guy turned around and told me I have a prison mentality. The same group that told fucking Jojo Diaz you might as well be exiled from the fucking race for picking somebody else to be Canelo Alvarez.
Literally, and a white boy at that, he was on the Olympic team with. They were like, "Oh yeah, you picking him? We hope Devin Haney knocks your ass out." I was like, "What?
How
Oh
you
my
gonna hate
god!"
on LaRossa, bro? That's bogus, man. That's why Hayden's gonna knock you out, bro. I was like, oh damn, all that, all
Yeah,
that
over boxing,
over boxing,
and
and they
it's
want to
funny.
turn around and say we have a prison mentality for, bro. I don't even think was black fans really on this before, where they
No,
stood up for like FBA fighters in specific.
well, not until Oscar De La Hoya tried to, in Top Rank, tried to drive race relations. They tried to drive a wedge in race relations with the fucking Mayweather fight. That was all Oscar De La Hoya and Top Rank. They started that bullshit. I mean, things had their tensions, of course, politically speaking, but that was politics and this was boxing. Normally, we'd be able to put that shit aside, but when it comes to boxing, everything's reversed. We fight, racial indifferences over boxing, and it's even worse in politics. That's why I say I'm like if these people get like this over boxing, imagine what they feel about real life
And
politics.
that's why I tell people boxing is about race, nationality, and pride. Because the same people we see arguing over here about I'm telling you, you can judge a person off the type of fighters they like. I've seen some of these guys that be on boxing Twitter who are not black in Tariq Nasheed spaces, bro. because they like that talk. They like hearing it. They understand.
You saw the photo I put up. People tried to ignore it, but I'm like, that's the COO of Pro Bellum inside of a
And
black space trying to listen to the differences between African Americans and African immigrants. They study.
they study this shit, man.
They do their fucking homework.
I try to tell people, I said, why do you think some of the people in the UK be fascinated? They're fascinated because they want to know, like, damn, why do these guys get down? They're really interested in that shit. Like, damn, they're able to hold guns and have guns. Is it really that bad? Oh my
They
God.
they
They
want
want
to
to know.
exploit. They want to exploit our differences so they can maximize on the chaos like they did last week on Twitter. That was a giant fucking minstrel show. That whole thing.
It
And they were
was.
like, "Ooh," and it basically for them it elucidated the divide. It showed you which black people are on whose side. Okay, cool. So these black people don't like this person, so we can talk to those black people and convince and hang out with these black people to turn them against those black people. That's all it is. And meanwhile, you got fucking coons and shit in the background, just like, yeah, you told him. It's like,
Yeah, that's
man,
how I could just unfollow. I really just unfollow all of them dudes today.
it's like it's like what it's like what was accomplished?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. And people
After
keep
that,
talking.
no, but after that though, sometimes fights like that, sometimes DI, you may not agree with me, but I feel like it's needed because it lets you know it shows you the separation of what's really real, who's really real. Because these dudes was popping all that shit, and at the end of the day, you see who loved the fucking gossip bullshit, the chatty patty shit, and you knew who's the niggas who's actually stand down and stuck down to the square. That's me. I've been on my shit, and I'm staying the same dude. These guys don't even give a fuck about boxing full time, to be honest, but claim
Literally.
that they're the real boxing fans.
Well, because they go to a fight or two and take some photos with a fighter that happens to be taking photos with like everybody in the area. But but yeah, no, like I literally unfollowed two people and cleaned my entire timeline up.
Me too.
I
I ain't
literally
gonna
just don't.
lie. I found me some new fucking people on Twitter. I was like, yo, fuck it. I went into that space, saw some like-minded people. I'd rather chop it up with y'all.
Yeah, I just, it's
Real
crazy.
shit.
It's crazy how your timeline gets. I literally unfollowed two people and my whole timeline is back to boxing. It's so crazy.
Back to
But
boxing.
it's just and it's honestly it's sad more than anything. It's sad. I don't control anything. So, I mean, what's up, Cry? Good to you, but I don't have any control, bro. Like people get it twisted. And also just want to address one thing. People, I don't have a fucking reputation to ruin on boxing Twitter or boxing. I do not make money in boxing. I do not make money from boxing Twitter. I get no money from any of this. So to truth be told, I don't care what happens to my Twitter page. So people really think that like, oh my God, you got exposed. No, I'm a real person. I didn't get exposed at all.
Even
Because
if
you
I get
mother
exposed, what's gonna happen to me?
yeah, absolutely nothing. So like I said, that's why I keep my professional life and my social media life separately because the same people that are like, "Oh, you shouldn't take Twitter so serious," will be the same people trying to find my government partners. Like, "Oh, you see, look what he did. You shouldn't be contracting with this guy because you see, because one time he said some shit to me on Twitter and like, oh, I thought Twitter."
You seen that they try to do that to fucking Baumgartner on my page when she, uh, you know what I'm saying? You seen that shit?
Yeah, it's pathetic, bro. They try to. These are the same people that say don't take the internet seriously, but then when they get cooked, they try to. Oh, look what he's doing. They try to mess up your commercial success, and it's like, no, I'm not letting some fucking 12-year-olds ruin everything I've worked my ass off to build. No, I spent a lot of time in school getting to where I need to be at. Now that I'm here on the cusp of some legitimate black power, and I got niggas trying to stop me. I got niggas talking about, oh, you were rude to me one time. Okay, you probably said something fucking stupid. maybe you should fuck off. How about that? Like, oh my God, you over here arguing with this, you over here arguing with that. It's fucking Twitter. Argue with people all day. They don't like what you're saying. Now it's like, oh, you're not a man because you're arguing. It's like that's the problem. The whole every all right, man. You ever notice how everyone's problems can be solved with a black man laying down and shutting up?
Yeah.
That magically every group, every gender, every race, all their problems are magically solved when we disappear. There's a method to that. There's a reason behind that. Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, a black man would just go somewhere and die. Everything would be perfectly fine. If y'all just stop arguing and stop talking and do what we say, everything would be good. Like that's not an accident. That's not a fucking accident. Shit.
They be
Even
like,
other.
you don't got no real master's degree. Who gave you a master's degree, you Negro?
Yeah, and it's like, don't worry about it. Why? What are you gonna do? Call my school and be like, see, how could you guys give him a degree? Because he said some stuff to me on Twitter one time. Like, move the fuck on. Seriously, move on. Trust me, some Twitter beef is not the worst thing that's gonna happen to you in your life. Trust me. You're gonna get way worse than the Twitter beef one of these days, you little fucking children. And for the adults, you're already lost. Like I said, this is exactly why Dante gives his money to Thailand. Y'all are already lost.
Shit,
Y'all are
I ain't taking the Dante route, but
shit.
I rather
I might go to Switzerland. I don't know.
yeah,
Depends.
yeah, have fun with that. I love my people too much, man. I get it, we fucking up, but I love my people too much. There's a solid there. My thing is, dude, you can't save everyone. You
No,
really can't,
no.
and you're gonna kill yourself trying to do that. And me being a student of Malcolm X and just seeing like the things that he's been through, and just a lot of our brothers and sisters that they've been through, it makes sense, man. It makes sense because I don't know if you've seen some of those old videos of Malcolm X, in his speeches. There were coons back then trying to argue him down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, these dudes have children and descendants.
Mm-hmm.
That cooning be coming down timelines. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
they become Clarence Thomas. They become Tim Bradley.
Well,
Like I said, the certifieds always get killed. So
and like you saying the certifieds get killed, and that's why, nigga, I'm staying my ass away from these dumbass niggas. For real. Because at the end of the day, I just realized that, like, dude, these dudes can do whatever, but I know for a fact that I'm about what I say. I spend money on black. I am black. I do black business. And I ain't saying I'm just super blackety black, but nigga, it shouldn't even, bro. When I really hate when other black people tell you, oh, well, you're pro black. What the fuck are you? Are you not pro your fucking people existence?
yeah, because
What are you saying?
the people you trying to impress ain't pro you. And then when people, I hate. I'm not gonna bring anything up specific, but I hate when people like talk about like your relations with women or what you said to or whatever. Malcolm X was a pimp, nigga. And
Exactly.
I know that's breaking news for a lot of y'all, but Malcolm X was a stomp down pimp called Detroit Red until he reformed himself. Just like
Yeah.
Maya, just
Who
like
don't
Maya,
know that?
yeah, just like Maya Angelou, another heartbreaker for the new Negroids. Maya Angelou was both a pimp and a hoe in the same lifetime.
Yeah.
But y'all probably don't know all of that because y'all are fighting in the streets or some shit. But anyways,
Yeah, and critical race theory is fucking blocked out your school.
yeah. Well, critical race theory
I'm just talking
is
shit. I'm just talking shit. I'm just talking shit. I know what critical race theory is.
yeah,
It's
that shit is
yeah,
nonsense that they
it's
can use
bullshit.
to shove other bullshit in there. It's standard
Yeah,
American
I
history.
know. I know it's American fucking history. Cause I'm like, what the fuck is critical race theory? You talking about just American fucking history?
Yeah, exactly. We need to get back in boxing. Well, you can always tune out. Occasionally, we're gonna have tangents, but this isn't my show. This is the Art Man show. So,
Yeah,
let's
and
talk.
Art man, I'm not a fucking soft ass, so I'm not afraid to have these conversations because I'm not fucking signed to PBC, Top Rank, or nobody, so I don't have a script and I don't have nobody I report to for this boxing shit. So when that person said she's gonna call the group on me, I'm like, what the fuck? What did that supposed to mean?
Yeah, I was confused about that. Last time I checked, the good thing about being an adult is that the only adults I'm worried about you calling are the police or the IRS. If you're not calling those two groups of adults, you really can't hurt me in any significant way. Like those are the only two people I'm legitimately afraid to deal with: the cops and the IRS. Outside of those two, I'm pretty much not gonna give a fuck who you call.
Facts. And that shit's just crazy, man. Look, boxing, you gotta understand. Boxing is a part of American history, American culture too.
Yeah,
Ali, everybody know Ali. You know how many rap songs or people use boxing references? You know that? You know how many songs they talk about boxing? Do you know what, bro? Just having a heavyweight champion from America is part of our culture. We've been having one what every fucking decade.
yeah, yeah. And you know it was a good moment even when Andy Ruiz came in there, but I noticed that a lot of individuals that back Canelo, they weren't riding the Andy Ruiz train. That was the first Mexican heavyweight champion unified ever in 2018, and it wasn't a bigger deal.
They were saying he was gonna get washed by Anthony Joshua, bro.
Yeah, and then in one fight, that dude went from that because he beat Joshua to stopping Wilder in the first round. And then when he lost to Joshua again, he went back to being a bum. It's like y'all don't even support your
And
own.
then when he linked up with when he linked up with Reynoso, oh yeah, he's a god. He's gonna beat Wilder again.
Fought Areola looked like absolute dog water.
And now they're like, yeah, Wilder versus Ruiz is still a good fight, but yeah, they know he's gonna get his fucking ass murked in there, dude.
Ruiz, his last fight, maybe he needs a tune-up or two. It's like, bro, y'all don't even care. Like when Mikey Garcia was getting broke off all that disrespect by Bob Arum, who was talking about it? It was us. We was talking about it. Y'all weren't talking about Mikey Garcia being sitting on the bench for 2 years. Y'all weren't backing Mikey Garcia. Y'all weren't backing Benavidez. Y'all weren't backing Ray Vargas. Y'all didn't give a fuck. We were.
I just don't know anybody that could sit here and defend Bob Arum.
Like it's craziness. And where were y'all when Elvis Rodriguez got fucked over after one loss? A decision loss, mind you. He didn't even get knocked out. One loss.
And Elvis Rodriguez, I read that little article that they put out about it and they explained, they said, man, they knew Bob Arum felt a certain type of way about dark Hispanics.
Yeah, where were y'all?
Lost, they already knew it was over for him.
Yeah, where were y'all? Where were y'all? Y'all weren't talking about shit. When Conceição got fucked over, y'all weren't talking about shit. When Rodriguez got fucked over, y'all weren't talking about shit. And if Ray Vargas don't get mandated against Max Io, are y'all gonna say the WBC fucking Ray Vargas over? Are you? Because he's the number one.
Hell no.
Shit, y'all ain't talking about shit. Y'all only talk about Canelo, and then you'll try to say, oh, if you don't like Canelo, you're clearly racist. No, wrong. I just watch boxing. I'm not concerned about what that man is doing with his career at this point. I'm not. Much like Tyson, that's why I'm not concerned about Tyson Fury. I even said on Twitter, they're both at the height of their political and financial power in the sport. You will not get a decision against them. The only way to beat them is to put them to sleep. That's just the cold hard truth. I said that about both fighters, but for some reason, only one group of fighter
Nigga,
fans
and
came
now
at me.
Fury showed us that even if you get knocked out,
He can still win.
you can still win.
Yeah, and Fury fans don't even deny it. They're like, huh, "Is what it is." They're just like,
Fury
"Eh,
fans tell me, what they tell me about the third fight? They should say, yeah, 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 we know, the count was long. Well, some folks, I get a mixed emotion. I get one side tells me, well, it's Wilder's fault because he should have went to the neutral corner. And then I got the other side saying, well, even though that happened, it was still a great fight.
Yeah. I mostly get from Tyson Fury fans, yeah, the count was long, but he would have got his ass whooped regardless. that's that's what I get for the most part. I get, yeah, the count was long, but he still would have got his ass whooped. So why are we talking about it? That's what I'm like. I'm like, you don't understand that if the count ended when it was supposed to, the fight would be over, and we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. We'd be on to the next one. But yeah, they know, they acknowledge it. They're just not too concerned about it. And that's the thing. At least to a certain degree, I can respect Tyson Fury fans because they're honest about their fuckery. They're like, yeah, he is a cheater, but he ended up winning. So it is what it is. Okay, that I can respect to a certain degree. When you try to talk like,
Even
oh,
even with the whole fucking the money part of Frank Warren coming with $41 million, they don't even hide it. They all know where that shit came from, and they
they're
know
like,
who the
yeah,
fuck Fury's involved with, bro.
they're
The
like, yeah,
fact
that's
that
that
your whole
that's that
country
Kinahan
knows he's
money.
involved in the mob is wild.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I was probably Kinahan. So what? And the thing is, like I said, that's why I can respect them to a certain degree because they don't try to hide it. They don't try to make up bullshit excuses. They don't pretend to have fucking degrees in accounting to where they be like, well, actually, if you look at Frank Warren's books, if you see here and you carry the suit, like they don't try to do all kinds of fucking mental gymnastics. They just call it what it is. Yeah, the motherfucker's a cheater. Yeah, he's this. Yeah, he's that. Yeah, he's involved with the drug lord. But he's white and I'm white and he whoop Wilder's ass. So fuck it. That's what they say. They don't go, well, to be honest, if we actually look at the studies of clenbuterol and fermentamine, in my experience as a fucking scientist, like they don't try to do all this bullshit where it's like, oh, well, actually, Canelo's the fucking, he's the P for P number one, so technically he can do whatever he wants. Like they don't fucking go all that stupid shit.
Canelo's tired, man. He needs a break, dude.
Yeah, just all kinds of dumb shit. That's why I don't fucking respect them. With Fury fans, they're like, yeah, he cheated. But he's fucking white and I'm white and he beat Wilder's ass, so fuck it. That's
I've
what it is.
never told another boxing fan my favorite fighter shouldn't fight because he's fucking tired, man.
He needs some rest. He just got a big fight with Lomachenko. He had a big fight with
Especially
you.
now when they're in their prime. Okay, I can see like a nigga like Wilder. Yes, a nigga fought for fucking what, 10 consecutive years, you know, and fought fucking a giant coke ogre back to back.
Multiple
You know what I'm
PED
saying?
users.
You know what I'm saying? Multiple PD users.
Yeah, Ruiz is
Fought
on that shit. I mean, Ortiz is on that shit too.
all of them niggas. Ain't no telling who he was fighting on the roids on the way up to. Ain't no telling.
Right.
But you ain't out here saying, oh, you don't hear me out here saying, damn, Wilder, he deserve a break. I'm saying if the man want to retire, then I support it. If the man want to continue, I support it. But Canelo fans, while this nigga's in his early 30s, he's talking about something he need a fucking break.
They were talking about Tiafimo deserves some rest with Cambosis, and you see how that bullshit turned out. They were like, look, he deserves a break. Okay, he's been fighting nothing but top comp, even though he only fought fucking Nakatani, who's literally a nobody, and fucking Lomachenko, who in and of himself was kind of a hype machine. He's like, he
These
deserves.
guys, these guys will give Tio credit for fighting Nakatani, but won't give Charlo credit for beating an undefeated top contender Julian J. Rock Williams.
Not at all. Who actually went on to accomplish something at 154, became a unified champion. Whereas Nakatani has accomplished what?
Get beat up by fucking a guy T.O. beat up.
I'm still waiting to hear about Nakatani's accomplishment. Even before he lost to Tiafimo, who the fuck was he? He was what? The lightweight Murata with no championship belt?
Never heard of
Like
him ever in my life. He
he's
wasn't
a
even supposed to
fucking
be known. The only reason why he's known because he gave the fucking prospect of the year a tough fight.
yeah, that's it. He's another guy known for losing. Just like Richard Comey is known for what? Losing. He's like, dude, like, you beat all these people that are known for fucking taking L's. Like, none of these people have any championship credentials and shit. Like, oh, Nakatani is this great man. He ain't shit. He ain't shit, and he never been shit.
Hey, that shit is wild. With the guy from Pro Bellum listening to Tariq Nasheed.
He trying to get
Nigga,
some intel.
bro, I don't give a fuck what nobody say, nigga. I can have 5 people in here, 10 people. There's somebody listening to this shit, bro. I'm telling you, dude, there was one post that went viral where I exposed, the arbitration, whatever, and I tagged Top Rank in it. When I that whole little series, that whole saga I meant of Wilder versus Fury, where I was just kept on exposing certain shit, I would make sure to tag Top Rank in it in every fucking post. So whenever I get notifications, they'll get notifications because they're tagged in the post. I
Right.
know they seen all of that shit. You don't think our Twitters be on their fucking timeline? Be on their fucking radar?
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely, especially with Top Rank and one of their fighters knowing all the controversial shit they've been into. Absolutely, 100%.
Think about it. Imagine, right? Your company gets fucking blasted in the news for being sued for racial discrimination or for bias, right? And wouldn't you check the web to see if what are people saying about this? Or would you just say, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit?
I mean, I would try to give people the illusion that I run an unbiased firm. I mean, we understand Top Rank history, but I would at least try to give people the fucking illusion that we're not openly biased. I mean, but it is what it is.
Shit just crazy. Hold on. Hold on. Damn, I didn't see none of these comments. He said, guys, you need to back your boxing cards right to color of the skin. Nigga, it does that. Because y'all making it to that.
Curry is a big fan of Canelo. Okay, Steph Curry could be a fan of Canelo. That's the thing about us. We don't tell people to stop supporting Canelo. We're just saying that we're not going to stop talking about him, and the things that he does. Just like a lot of other people are
We
going to
don't
start.
even
Like,
tell nobody to stop supporting who the fuck they support. That's what
yeah,
y'all do.
yeah, people only do that to us. They only say, stop talking about him. You guys need to be fans. But they told us to stop supporting Wilder. Who the fuck are we supposed to root for? Like who? Who? And then they're like, Wilder was the only Black American champion you had. Well, that's why we rooted for him, and that's why we still root for him. I mean, Tyson Fury and AJ were all the UK got, and Tyson Fury went on a coke binge. AJ was cool for a little bit, but now he got his ass beat. So Tyson Fury is all y'all got, which is why all y'all do is talk about him. Y'all can't claim Usyk.
Y'all don't
Usyk is
even
cool.
like Tyson Fury for real.
Yeah,
That's the crazy part.
you just needed a boogeyman. You needed a foil to where you wouldn't appear as just a racist. So you'd be like, oh, I like Tyson Fury because he's from the UK. You don't give a fuck about Tyson Fury. Shit, and now they're
I
trying to
talk about
claim.
people from the UK too. People from the UK don't like Tyson Fury either.
No, they think he's garbage. He honestly, Tyson Fury is more American than he is fucking UK. He gets down like an American. All them drugs and shit. That's what Americans do when they get some money. They go on fucking massive coke binges and shit.
Tyson Fury clicked up to the nigga that selling drugs in their neighborhood.
Yeah, but they got the nerve to talk about Baltimore and Chicago and shit. Like, what are you
Talk about
saying? That's like whenever Canelo fans try to say, "Oh, what about crime in Chicago?" I'm like, bro, have you seen the region that Canelo calls home? That place is literally a haven for drugs and violence. Fix that before talking about what's going on up here. Because there's a reason why
y'all
you
was
live.
living in Arizona.
Right. I'm like, there's a reason why you live here instead of there. There's a big ass reason. Because
Oh,
goddamn,
Beehive, if you talk like that, you're anti-Mexican.
I'm shit, nigga. Y'all anti-Mexican. Y'all want to live there. It's not my fault. I'm not anti-shit. Y'all the ones that don't want to buy a house in that motherfucker. I'm
Yeah,
shit.
I'm glad that you showed me that fucking word because that word. Because now I call that dude. I call some of them dudes that poncho word.
Oh, Pocho.
Pocho, yeah.
Yeah, some of the Mexican people that follow me on Twitter saw him and were like, "Nah, we're not associated with that motherfucker." Just like some of the people came in here and was like, "Nah, we're not associated with some of these dudes." So don't get us confused. Like those dudes are weird. The people in Mexico are very even keel, and I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why they don't get on my nerves because I know there's a bunch of people that are not like them. That's like when people say, "Oh, you're anti." I'm like, no, I'm anti you. I don't like you. Mexican people have not done anything to me. You're the problem. Like, oh, you're making fun of Mexican people. I'm like, no, I'm making fun of your accent. You talk like that. Not all
You
Mexicans
think?
look like that.
Do you think boxing fans were attacking Marquez fans like this, or
Fuck no,
speaking on Marquez fans like that? Do you think boxing fans were saying Chavez fans are the worst?
not at all.
Really ask yourselves that. Do you think fans are really out there saying, "Man, Chavez Jr. fans are fucking man fans. Those guys are fucking nuts, man." Saying
People
Chavez Jr. Who deserves a fight with him? Pernell Whitaker don't deserve a fight with him.
people didn't even talk this much shit about Mayweather fans. They honestly they didn't even talk this much shit about Mayweather. I mean, they talk shit about Mayweather, but they didn't talk shit about his fans because he kept winning. He kept fighting people that everyone was said he would lose to, and he kept fucking winning. So like, oh, Mayweather too little, he too old. W. Ah, he too slow, he too this. W. Oh yeah, he's way past his prime now. W. Like it never
And I
worked.
always remind them, y'all remember, y'all don't know if y'all know the official title for the fight. Because you know they named certain big fights. They named Floyd versus Canelo the one.
Yeah, the one that was gonna do it.
The one that was going to do it.
The one he finally didn't cherry pick.
Uh-huh. And that's
And then
exactly. Y'all say, because remember they used to say, oh, well, he ain't fight nobody that's young and strong. And
bro, in the Showtime buildup, Canelo himself said that. He literally said he's the first. He usually gets to pick his opponents. He picks the time. He picks the place. This is the first time he's fighting someone that he didn't want to fight. That's what Canelo said. And
what
then
you mean?
after, wait, what do you mean?
Because I heard Canelo say he called out Floyd.
Exactly. Canelo was like, yeah, I called him out. He didn't want to fight because he knows I'm different. Da 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 da. And then
Okay. I know
yeah,
that.
yeah, and then yeah, and then that's what I'm saying. Canelo was saying that this is the first person he's fighting that he didn't actually want to fight. It's just that the public pressure was so big that people would look at him like he was a damn duck if he didn't fight me. And like he's been ducking and dodging, he's been picking his opponents, he's been cherry picking. I'm the first real dude he's fought. And then afterwards, the entire community said he cherry picked Canelo. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? The very same thing they're claiming that we're doing with Charlo now, they did back with Canelo, and they don't. And that's why when Southpaw came in and said a lot of these Canelo fans are like super young, he's right because I'm talking about two different generations of people. That's how
I
young
know.
these that's how young these
I'm
fuckers are.
saying, look, I'm telling you, bro. You know how you make that saying when I was just laughing at first when you're like, yeah, they show the highlights of Canelo's offense is Kirkland and the defense is the Jacobs first round. Nigga, I went to TikTok because I'd made a Art Man Boxing TikTok page.
No, okay.
Nigga, I went on TikTok, bro. When you go look at the Canelo hashtag, nigga, it's like Canelo looking like a god in that fucking ring, bro. Because they put all types of edits of him knocking out like Liam Smith and shit.
Yeah, look at the Triple G footage DAZN trying to put out to market him to Canelo. Like, oh shit, Canelo might fight Triple G again. Okay, let's put some highlights in. Seeing this nigga getting hit by jabs from Szechuan chicken. The fuck? Talking about, oh
And
look at
Triple
his
G still here knocking down doors, waiting for Canelo to come back.
yeah, look at his beautiful head movement. Meanwhile, he's getting touched the entire fucking video clip. And then they talk about you shouldn't wait for Canelo, bro. You should fight some other champs in your division. Okay, cool. How come y'all not giving Triple G that energy? Well, Triple G already fought Canelo, so he can do whatever. It's like, no, shut the fuck up.
If he already fought Canelo and he had his turn and lost, wouldn't you think it's the smarter thing for Canelo to fight somebody else
Yeah,
in
he
the
literally
prime too?
fought this dude fucking twice, and
You
he
know why they want to see that fight now? They're so comfortable with it
because they'll
because
know
they
he'll stop
know
Triple
he's
G.
gonna knock Triple G the fuck out.
Yeah, he'll stop Triple G probably to the body. To be honest,
Of course.
yeah, his weak ass
It'd be
ribs.
funny if Triple G said "fuck that" and came back and reserved his energy right for that moment.
That should be funny as fuck if he like got a lucky punch off and like dropped or slept Canelo. Oh my god. Woo boy. I
He
lo-
said, "I want to see Canelo kill Triple G."
yeah, y'all all do. I don't know what Triple G did to y'all. Shit.
Oh shit! I don't know if this is a burner account, but it says Hector Garcia. Canelo is the best fool.
That's cool. He could be all that. No one cares.
Yeah, Canelo's the best fighter from Mexico. I give him that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, no one's saying he's not good. We're just discussing dude's career, some of the choices he's made, and making comparisons. We were just talking about Triple G right then. We're saying that all the same energy y'all give to people who haven't even fought Canelo, y'all didn't give to Triple G. Y'all didn't tell him to stop waiting around at 160 for a Canelo paycheck. y'all didn't tell him all that. Y'all didn't say, hey man, you need to move up and put in some other work and do something else. Y'all didn't say all of that. Oh shit, this man said Triple G's a bum. Why the fuck? What? I didn't even say Triple G's a damn bum. Damn. You know that's Canelo's best win, right?
Yeah.
you
The last
said
time he was in a 50-50 fight.
you saying bro, yeah, he's saying Triple G is a bum and Triple G gave Canelo his best work. What the fuck, man? Oh, see, like I don't like Triple G because he's a little bitch who gets too much credit for the little bit of work he put in. But I'm not gonna say he's no damn bum.
I want to see fucking Triple G versus. Wait, who's Triple G gonna fight now that Andre's moving up and Canelo and fucking Charlo moving up too?
He's still trying to get Murata.
Bro, that's so sad, bro. He's
He's
supposed
still
to.
trying to get Murata.
Bro, nobody saying nothing, bro. Nobody
No,
saying how this nigga said he was gonna fight in December, New Year's. Nigga, it's already February, Black History Month, nigga. This month's short. Next you know it's gonna be fucking March.
no. Triple G has been peacefully allowed to sit at one division his entire career, not take any criticism, not be told to move up, not be told to unify with certain people. He's been sitting at 160, waiting on Canelo his whole life. He got his 2 fights off. He got a taste of that bread, and now he's thirsty as hell, and nobody is telling him shit. Just like they're not telling Benavidez shit. They're not telling Benavidez to move up or do something else. They're like, oh, Benavidez is whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna push Canelo to fight him, but he could just sit there and do whatever he wants. Or Charlo needs to fight him, or Andre needs to fight him. They're not telling him to move up, even though his fat ass just keeps missing weight. Yeah, it's amazing. This shit is truly fucking amazing.
So I think Xander's eyes will take over at 160. We'll have Mungia.
Yeah. If the current crop moves up, then yeah, they have a legitimate
Mungia's. I
chance.
don't know if Mungia's gonna stay at 160 too long. He's kind of in a fucked up situation because he's fucking killing himself to make 160, and if he goes to 168, the WBO is gonna be like, well, shit, we can make you in the final eliminator versus Andre.
Yeah, the final eliminator to the eliminator to the eliminator until the champions get weak. and then you'll have a shot. I'm like, bro, you have almost 40 fights under your belt. Fight some fucking body. Jesus, like fight some fucking body, bro. Like, goddamn. I mean, it's not that deep. So what? It's a loss. Big deal. Move on. Everybody
And I
got lost.
posted, I told him, I said, losing to a black fighter is not the end of the world, y'all. It's
It's
really
in
not.
it. And it's sometimes it's the best case scenario. Like if Tiafimo had lost to Devin Haney, I guarantee he wouldn't have been talking about his fucking lungs popped after the damn fight. He wouldn't have got beat up that bad. Talk about, oh man, my chest fucking exploded. Cambosos hit me so hard, he popped me in my shit. Like you wouldn't have been bleeding from the goddamn head if you had fought Devin Haney.
You know what it was, bro? They don't, man. I feel like it's bigger to them if they lose to a black guy. Like, imagine him losing to Devin Haney. He probably wouldn't be looking like the way he looked, but he probably would have lost every fucking round.
Yeah, he would have got embarrassed.
Probably just would have been a smoke session, and I feel like they feel like that is worse.
Yeah, what would have happened is he probably would have got 10-2. He probably would have lost every round except 2 rounds where he got 1 or 2 heavy shots in, and then they would have said, "Oh, Devin Haney lost the whole fight because of those 2 shots." It's kind of like how they see all his fights, or even better when they see a Charlo fight. Like people to this day are still bitching about Charlo versus Korobov. Fucking
Yeah,
Korobov, Korobov will
Where the fuck is Korobov?
doing absolutely nothing. Fucking quitting on the stool because his Achilles is broken and shit.
Fucking shoulder popping out and shit. This nigga, man, he's damaged goods, bro.
Literally, and what bothers me is that Korobov didn't win more than 4 rounds, and he almost got stopped in the 12th. But every time he landed a straight right, people just give him the round. It's like they're watching a Canelo fight. Canelo lands one good shot, they give him the entire fight. It's like, wait, what?
You
That
heard
was
what they said.
right. He just looks flashier. He just looks better. You know, that's the thing with me. He just looks like the punches are more convincing.
The twerks on his hips is just way much crisper, you know? Fuck out of here.
Oh shit! You see, Chris Colbert, the next
Over is the
Mexican
next
legend.
Mexican.
Ah, you see that? You see why? Why you got to claim Chris Colbert? Chris Colbert ain't. Yeah. I mean, what's the problem? Y'all ain't got enough. Y'all ain't got enough going for you. How come y'all want to claim Munguia? Munguia
They
is
out here
Mexican.
claiming. They out here claiming Shakur. They claiming fucking Chris Colbert.
Munguia is just as Mexican as any other Mexican. Why y'all not claiming Munguia? Y'all don't like Munguia? Oh, he said Munguia's a coward. Oh, that's not right. Don't you
Yeah,
do that.
because they know because Mungu he was introduced kind of as like the Negro Slayer, the possible Negro Slayer.
Oh man.
And then you see what happened to that.
Hey, if Cobra wants to be Rasa, that's okay. I'm not gonna fucking hate him. Again, when you listen to other people, that'll happen. But no, if Chris Colbert says I want to carry the Mexican flag, hey, it is what it is. I can't do nothing about it. Shit, you're not gonna
Can't
hear
do
me
nothing
go.
about it. I'm gonna laugh at it. I'm like, nigga, you're fucking stupid because they don't feel that way about you.
Yeah, they're not gonna like him when he starts fighting their people. Like his next fight is against Roger Gutierrez. We'll see what side they're on. Oh shit, he says Boots is their idol. Are you in Mexico? Because if you're in Mexico, that would make sense. If you're in America, then what you're saying to me is probably shocking. But if you're actually in Mexico, then that makes sense. You claiming Barrios? Oh, okay. Wait, claiming Barrios. Like Barrios has a good shot at beating Keith Thurman. I said straight up, if Keith Thurman can't beat Barrios, he need to fucking retire. Because you ain't pushing no weight at 147, bro. That's straight up.
I feel
And
like
it's
you're a
funny
little
because
too harsh on Keith Thurman.
yeah, man, all these people pretending that they've always fucked with Keith Thurman. Like, oh, I've been on the Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman has been doing nothing for the past 2 years. Fuck off. You know, oh, don't disrespect Keith Thurman. Man, fuck Keith Thurman. He disrespected himself for sitting on the couch after the Pacquiao check kid. Fuck that. And speaking of Barrios, all right, man, who were the only people giving Barrios any respect?
Us.
Because the moment y'all found out he was fighting Tank, y'all threw that man
Yeah,
under the
under the
bus.
fucking bus.
Y'all said he wasn't a real champion. He was weak as fuck, never accomplished shit. He was garbage. Y'all said Barrios was trash. We defended Barrios. Oh, so yeah, he's in Tijuana. Okay, so Hector Garcia, that makes sense. That makes sense that you're talking like that because yeah, in Mexico they are different. But yeah, in as far as Barrios goes, y'all didn't give a fuck about Barrios. Now because he's fighting the Keith Thurman that's been on the bench for a minute and is soft to the body, all of a sudden y'all like Barrios again. Ain't that a bitch? The moment Barrios signed the contract, y'all all were like, "Oh, Barrios ain't shit." But now that he's fighting Keith Thurman, oh, you know, Barrios actually fantastic. He fought Tank. What the fuck is that?
He only lost to Tank, you know.
Right. These motherfuckers didn't even care about Barrios. They fucking thought Barrios was straight trash. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, you know, that Barrios is something else.
He's doing his thing, man.
Yeah,
Keep fighting.
Barrios is solid. He has good body punches. I'm like, oh, so now that he's fighting Thurman off of the couch, he's a solid fighter. But when he was fighting Tech, oh, he's a garbage champion who's accomplished nothing and is weak as fuck and got his ass beat by Akhmedov. Because that's what I was hearing.
If that's their favorite word, you're casual.
Right. You're a casual because you don't watch every boxing fight ever. That's why I ask people, okay, I'm a casual. Okay, check this out. Name me the top 5 fighters from any division that fight on DAZN without Googling. No, you don't know? Okay, so who's really casual? Because fucking nobody knows that shit. Like I said, most of the zone schedule, you have no idea who's fighting. Fuck you gonna watch? La Haraga versus Flatley. Two motherfuckers y'all gotta Google. Because like I said, all the fights I talk shit about, I watch them. Like all the little sperm wave fights, I be watching them. All the little fucking bullshit the zone fights, I be watching them fights. That's how I know those fighters
I
ain't
don't
shit.
watch that shit at all.
Exactly, like exactly. And the thing is, our man, most of the people that talk shit to you about the fights don't watch them either. They don't watch them either. So they can talk about the zone's awesome schedule. Y'all don't know who be fighting over there. Like who yeah, like y'all can't even tell me who La Haraga fought, who Jack Flatley fought. Y'all can't tell me. Y'all can't tell me.
These just not real fans of the sport, and they say we not real fans, D High, because we
Right,
don't know fucking whoever who fought at fucking Tuesday at 3 a.m.
right. And the people I'm naming, they fight on Friday. Sometimes they fight on Saturday. They fight on Sunday. I mean, I personally enjoy the way Kermit La Haraga fights, but you don't see me going on Twitter talking about, oh, if you don't know Kermit La Haraga, you're not a real boxing fan. Because nobody knows Herman La Haraga. Nobody fucking knows. He's a dude from Spain. Like Kiko Martinez is the greatest boxer that Spain has ever produced. He's literally the greatest Spanish boxer in all of history. And so I follow other Spanish boxers like Carmela Haraca. But I'll be damned if I go on someone's fucking timeline and be like, you're casual because you don't watch Kermit fight. Like these niggas don't know what the fuck Kermit is. Like, come on, bro. And well, yeah, Quadras versus that guy because it's a fucking late replacement for Sarang Visai, unfortunately. So it is what it is. That little Rodriguez joint. Oh shit! He said you can't talk shit about Mungia in real life because they might kidnap you. Damn! Why the fuck? Why the fuck does Mungia's name have so much weight on it? It's just Mungia. I mean, shit. I'm actually pushing for Mungia to get some damn fights, but his people don't want him to fight. I want Mungia versus Charlo, Mungia versus Andrade, and they're like, nah, he's not ready. He's a child, even though he's had 40 fucking fights and been a world champion. Shit don't make no kind of fucking sense. I'm like, oh man, Mungia, he's. It sounds like somebody else. They're building him. They're
Said Art
building
Man and
him.
D High, let's go to Cancun. Yeah, let's all plan a trip.
Hey, that's not an issue. I mean, shit, Cancun. I mean, I used to be driving distance, but now I'm all the way on the East Coast. I need to fly, but hey, that's not terrible. But yeah, and one thing I don't like is people. One thing I don't like is people like following fighters just because it makes them sound hardcore. Like you following a part of boxing that not a lot of people like doesn't make you some kind of super duper expert hardcore fan. It just means you like things that a lot of people don't like. It's kind of like how people pretend to love the Beatles. The Beatles didn't produce that much good music. Like they produced some notable tracks that some people liked back in those times, but they for the most part it's an acquired taste. Like you don't have to like the Beatles, but people just say, "Oh, the Beatles are legendary. I love them" to fit in, and that's what I think that some of the lower weight
What my nigga
classes.
Dom Kennedy say? Said real niggas listen to Jodeci, not the Beatles. Nah, hell nah. Nah, I don't know, man. That's too different, man. I don't fuck with the Beatles. I really don't know too much about them, man. But I
Most people
definitely
don't like the
prefer some
Beatles.
over.
That's my point. Most people that claim they love the Beatles don't like the fucking Beatles. They just do it so they don't sound like a Philistine. They just do it to fit in to seem cultured. Meanwhile, they don't have a single fucking Beatles track downloaded. That's what I'm saying, man. It's the same with like Chocolatito and a lot of these other fighters. A lot of people don't watch their fucking fights either. They just say that so they can sound cultured, so they can sound like,
If
oh, I'm
y'all
an
was, the fight will be on pay-per-view.
right, right. And a lot of people are saying that Chocolatito gonna get in there and wash Julio Cesar Martinez. I'm like, have y'all seen Julio Cesar Martinez fucking fight? This is some losable shit for Chocolatito, bro. And of course, whenever I'm giving Julio Cesar Martinez some respect on Twitter, everyone manages to miss that shit. So, I'm probably picking Julio Cesar Martinez to win by stoppage. People are like, oh man, shit, fucking, I hope Chocolatito doesn't hurt him. I'm like, Chocolatito is 34 years old and been through some wars. Julio Cesar Martinez is undefeated and fucking and hits like a truck. Like this is y'all. I'm like, bro.
It's set up for that dude to be the next star because they're gonna be like, well, he beat Chocolatito. He beat Chocolatito.
and
I'm gonna
he
keep
and
it
he
100 with you guys. I've never seen Chocolatito fight ever. Never.
I've watched most of his fights. Like I watched his Quadras fight. I watched both his Sarungbi side fights. I watched his Estrada fights. You know, I watched his some of his early fights when he first started getting some notoriety in the P for P conversation. But yeah, most of these people haven't seen a lot of his fights because a lot of his fights were in the fucking home country, like most of them.
But
A
you know
lot
what I
of
did hear? I hear people
what
say that he better than Floyd. He's on the pound for pound number one over Floyd.
over Ward,
It's
and
cold.
none of the people that he's fought are with all due respect superior to some of the people that the people he was put over fought. Like I said, I outside of Valoria, Arroyo, Quadra, Sarung Bisai, Yafai, and Estrada, well, how much work has he put in? Most of his other fights were in fucking Nicaragua, bro. Like his first 20 fights were in Nicaragua. Y'all didn't watch those. There were some mixed in Japan because they have a lot of lighter weight classes over there. Y'all didn't watch those fucking fights back in 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. Y'all didn't watch those fucking fights. Stop lying. Y'all didn't pay attention to his career until he fought Valoria in fight number 44. Y'all didn't pay attention to the man's career until he fought fucking Valoria. So stop fucking lying. Can't stand people like, oh, I've been watching Chocolatito since he was a baby. Yeah, like, shut the fuck up. Sound fucking irritating. Shit, man. Like,
So
oh,
I
I've been.
hate the Beatles.
Yeah, I mean, they're a well known classic rock and roll band, but the truth of the matter is a lot of people don't like their music. They just say that they like their music so people don't ask them questions in public. So they can sound sophisticated, so they can sound cultured. And that's the same with a lot of the little weight classes. People don't talk shit about them because they'll get hated. Like, oh, you don't watch boxing. You only care about American boxing. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but there are very few Russians or Ukrainians in those lower weight classes either. You don't go to Russian fans telling them they need to watch more fucking Nicaraguan boxing. Like, like, sorry that some people can't get that fucking small. Sorry. I want to watch fucking slap boxing. Like, honestly, literal midget boxing is more entertaining than some of those fucking fights. Nah, real shit. Like actual dwarf boxing is more entertaining than some of those fucking fights. I'm gonna keep it real.
How can you say that, D Hive? You don't know boxing because you didn't fucking watch the guy who just escaped from the refugee camp fight a Nui at 6 a.m.
No bullshit. I actually watched that fight. I literally clocked into work and I watched that fight at like 8:30 in the morning Eastern.
I didn't watch that shit. I haven't even seen no highlight of the shit. I didn't
The
even
whole
know
fight,
that existed. I don't even know what trunks you wear, what color trunks.
the whole
Not
fight
a
on you,
highlight and anything.
the whole fight on YouTube. It was cool. It was a cool little fight, but the whole fight was fucking on YouTube because
He
it's a random
stopped him.
fight. Of course, the dude's debut was the dude's boxing debut was in a prison. Of course, he stopped his ass.
I was just joking, but damn.
No, real shit. Yeah, the guy he fought, his boxing debut was in a prison. Yeah, and it's okay. Like I don't understand why, like I said, they're trying to shame people into making those weight classes more popular. They're like you should like them and spend your money on them, and they're trying
If
to
you're a real boxing fan.
yeah, they're trying to guilt you, and it's like no. I mean, because people forget between Ward's retirement and Canelo Alvarez fighting Rocky Fielding, who gave a shit about super middleweight? Absolutely nobody. Nobody cared about super middleweight. Just like during the Klitschko era, people talked shit about heavyweight. They were like, man, heavyweight sucks dicks.
Who you got, Serena or Taylor? I got Serena.
Yeah, Serena gonna beat her ass.
Yeah, I hope she knock her fucking ass out. Real shit. Just to fucking piss the UK off.
Yeah, cause she undefeated too. So it'd be her first little L.
Her first official L.
Yeah, cause Pursune's taxed her ass up twice. I feel bad. Pursume, like I said, Pursume gonna have to pull some shit and pull a Kiko Martinez and just sleep Michaela because you know they're gonna keep robbing you, girl. Delphine, they're gonna keep robbing you.
Yeah, but D Hive, I gotta end the show, man. Um, we can do this tomorrow. We can talk about whoever. I don't know if we can run it back about Canelo, whatever. They're gonna be here regardless.
Yeah, man. Fucking weirdos. It's sad. But anyways, thanks for having me on. You have a good night.
All right, on to the next.
All right, peace.